FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. It's also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Volta Premier Ho and Menuveve Aplao, Lolonyo FM Ho and Kekele FM Ho. It's also live on myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah backs GJ's position to black out politicians as he encourages the association to demand action from police and the judiciary.
If we consistently hold the police and the judicial service accountable, I know the IGP is interested, I know the Chief Justice is interested, we'll get to that point where no police command or police office play hanky-panky with these reports.
However, the National Media Commission Chairman Yabwedu Ayeboafo defends his comments against media blackout, insisting he did no wrong.
If I do not agree with the position of the GJ, that does not render me a mole.
Also in this bulletin, Jurapa MC expresses strong optimism the killers of business mogul and Cozy Hill CEO will be brought to book after police apprehended 7 suspects. We have details of that in business.
Persistent demand pressures, $4 would continue to weigh negatively on the city's performance this week as year-to-date depreciation of the local currency stands at 3%. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And later, teacher unions set to release their own comprehensive manifesto outlining their educational priorities and fiscal proposals as they issue a stern warning to political parties to be realistic.
The leadership of the unions have prepared a document that we are going to share with the political parties. So let us now have a more intellectual discussion or discourse on what a politician can give and what the people expect.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Please stay for details. In our first story, the Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah is the latest to back the GJ's decision to black out politicians who attack journalists. Speaking on PM Express, the Alfonso Ayeri MP highlighted its importance as a stopgap measure to deter perpetrators. His position comes after the National Media Commission Chair, Yabwedu Ayeboafo, criticized the GJA for that move. Even though Mr. Ayeboafo has come under intense criticism over his position to the GJA move, he remains committed to this position.
The fact that I am a senior journalist, as they fully admitted, is a fact that I should have an independent opinion. I don't need necessarily to follow whatever position that the GJA comes up with. And if I do not agree with the position of the GJA, that does not render me a mole. It does not render me useless to the system. Because I'm not supposed to mimic anybody. I mean, people, when they speak that they have the right to express themselves. But if somebody expresses a view that they don't share, that somebody is stupid. I think that debases democracy.
While the Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah believes the GJA took the right decision, he insists the GJA works with law enforcement agencies, especially the police and judiciary, for justice to prevail on such attacks.
I believe that if we consistently hold the police and the judicial service accountable, I know the IGP is interested, I know the Chief Justice is interested, we'll get to that point where no police command or police office can then, play hanky-panky with these reports as they come to them. So, simply put, yes, I 100% support this as a tool. It will not be effective, but at least it will draw full attention. But what we need to do is to have some clear guidelines on when it is deployed to avoid gray areas. And then we secondly have to ensure that the officers of state who can deal with it, i.e. the police and the judicial service, are held accountable for it. That's why we went to Parliament to make a statement calling on Parliament to support. That's why we brought all the media stakeholder groups together to hold them accountable, and we need to continue with it.
You heard Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah. Away from that, Municipal Chief Executive for Jurapa, Nicholas Soyiri, says he is optimistic the killers of business mogul and Cozy Hill CEO Eric Johnson will be brought to book. 7 persons have so far been picked by the police in connection with the incident. Speaking to Joy News, Mr. Soyiri said though he is broken by the incident, he is confident those involved in the act will be made to face justice.
That one. For the sake of the investigations ongoing, I wouldn't want to comment on that.
I guess you're broken.
Very.
Well, you've been talking about your charge to the police. What exactly are you expecting will happen in this particular case?
I'm expecting that the perpetrators be brought to book, not just arresting innocent people, but the real culprits should be caught.
Nicholas Soiri is MC for JERPA in an interview there with my colleague Emefa Apao. Now, the Executive Director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko Bawumia Tiwa Adodankwa, says she's not under political pressure in the investigation and prosecution of cases. The Office of the Special Prosecutor last month referred a suspected case of money laundering involving the former Water and Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa to Yoko for further investigation and prosecution. This was after the OSP dropped all charges against the former minister for lack of credible evidence. Addressing an anti-corruption forum, Madam Tiwa Adodankwa said her office will only act when there is evidence for wrongdoing.
Sometimes when I hear people say, I'm handling a case and I have powers from the above directing me, fortunately for me, I've not had that. Because you are guided by the law. Nobody will direct you when you have evidence. It is when you don't have evidence, you haven't been able to put evidence together. That is when somebody will tell you don't do this. But if you have done your work in such a way that you have evidence, very solid evidence, you just have to explain to the person, these are my evidence, these are the things I have, A, B, C, and it is solid and I'm presenting it to the court. Nobody can stop you. But if we hide behind powers from above, then we are put aback and we disappoint the citizen that they've given you a mandate to do that, and you sit down and you be complaining about powers from above.
You had Executive Director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Bawumia Tiwa Adodankwa. Now, the Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana have refused to call off its strike until there is parity in the payment of vehicle maintenance allowance by government. National President of the union, Suleimana Abdul Rahman, says some of their members on other university campuses are given motorbike allowances instead of car allowances, which others are not receiving at all. The union insists its members will not return to work until the issue is resolved.
Vehicle maintenance allowance is paid in three categories. We have those who have bicycles, government pay them bicycle allowance. If you have a motorbike, government pays you the motorbike maintenance allowance. If you have a car, government pay you this car maintenance allowance. And some of our members who have cars in some public universities have been denied to be paid the car maintenance allowance and rather been paid only motorbike allowance. So at what point will one of our members or a member who will have a car and then will reduce the car maintenance allowance to motorbike allowance? We think there is a fundamental wrong somewhere.
Well, teacher unions are sending a stern warning to political parties, cautioning against making hasty promises. As they prepare to unveil their own manifesto, the unions emphasize the need for well-thought-out commitments from political entities. President of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, Angel Carboni, revealed that the document not only outlines their policy positions, but also includes suggestions on cost-saving measures for government. He spoke with Evans Mensah on Newsnight.
The leadership of the unions have prepared a document that we are going to share with the political parties, and we'll be engaging the political parties on the documents that we have prepared. I'm sure the document will be ready by next week so that we will see which political party will be open to incorporate into its manifesto some of the suggestions that we have made. I think let us now have a more intellectual discussion or discourse on what a politician can give and what the people expect.
Now, the culture of teenage girls trading sex for fish in coastal community of Halfasene in the Jomoro district of the Western region is commonplace. The girls beg for fish during substantial catch and return sexual favor as payment to the fishermen. It's termed as fish for sex in the local community. Joy News' Stanley Niebler was there to dig into this worrying culture and reports. Here's his report read to you. Halfasene is one of 26 coastal communities in the Jomoro municipality of the Western region with prevalent teenage sexual exploitation. Its vibrant shore attracts loads of town folks daily when canoes that go for fishing expeditions land ashore. On occasions where the fishermen have a substantial catch, teenage girls who come to the beach to beg for fish for their families' upkeep become the target of sexual exploitation, as every fish they receive from the fishermen is paid back through sex. As a result, teenage pregnancy and single parenthood are a common phenomenon in the community, with little being done by local stakeholders to address the situation. The practice is termed by indigenes as fish for sex, and this is confirmed by the Deputy Manager of the Jomora Fisheries Commission, Irene Obeng.
And Susa. So due to that, and men manufacture advantage, then we sleep with you.
And that's how we end the bulletin. In our top story information, Minister Kojo Opon Kruma backs GJ's position to black out politicians as he encourages the association to demand action from police and the judiciary. I'm Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
The boys are lined up looking for an opening. They are charging forward from our three. Kuku has his eye on the cashier, but Yo gets there first. He taps, and he scores!
Win your ticket to glory with the ABSA Card Assist. Tap to pay with your ABSA debit or credit card, and you could win an unforgettable Premier League experience in the UK or any of over 50 consolation prizes such as home appliances and shopping vouchers. It's time to tap your way to the Premier League with your ABSA card. ABSA, the official banking partner of the Premier League. Terms and conditions apply.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex tank. Syntex tank, stress-free. Syntex tank, reliable. Syntex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, a year strong, a year tough.
We've got the best your service.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Bafu.
Hey, morning.
Yeah. Oh, so the information minister actually supports what GJA is proposing to do, to deal with those accused of attacking journalists.
Yeah, I heard
right?
that.
He supports it.
Yeah.
Which I think is great.
It's laudable.
So, will Ayabuafu now change his mind?
Well, from what I listened to this morning, I don't think he's going to change his mind. Like,
so now
he's really convinced about what he's saying. I mean,
this is counterproductive, or what did he know? He said it's unproductive. It's unproductive. So what has the NMC done productively to deal with this?
Good question for the morning.
Anyway, look, I'm very interested in what the vice president said, apart from the Trotros meat stuff.
Okay.
Everybody has been on about that. But, he actually communicated a vision. So I think it's time we started paying attention to that vision.
All right.
So today we want to look at the tax reforms that he's proposed, right? And see which ones are feasible, which ones are not. I mean, he said a lot in that presentation.
In terms of prudently managing our expenditure to reduce the budget deficit and interest rates, my government will enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Council. My government will provide a tax amnesty, that is a complete exemption from payment of taxes for a specified period and waiving the interest and penalties. We have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
Yeah, bunch of interesting proposals.
Tax amnesty.
Yeah.
And no taxes on digital services.
Yes. He also says that duties at Tema should never be higher than duties at Lome. That's interesting. He says there will be a flat rate on duty for the import of spare parts. It will be based on the size of your container, not what you are importing.
Well, they sound good. I'm just wondering how then government is going to raise revenue from taxes if you're getting...
If you remember, when he introduced the solid team, the economic management team, and he came up with these proposals to reduce duty and all of that, the theory at the time was that if the thing is easier to pay, more will
people
pay, which means you will end up raising more. Because as he prescribes it, there is a need to broaden the tax net. Let more people pay tax, even if the tax is less.
Exactly.
And government will raise more revenue. That's the theory he's working with. And he thinks digitalization is the key to getting more people to pay.
So why are we not doing that already?
It's the question at the crux of his entire campaign. Right? That is the question that his campaign must answer, basically. Right? Because in everyone's mind, he's the vice president. In everyone's mind, he should be able to do these things. So really, maybe the time has come for everyone to come to the understanding of what has stopped him. What or who has stopped him from doing these things, if this is what he believes in. Anyway, at the moment, we are in the era of the driver, not the mate. So maybe that's the answer. The 6 a.m. news was brought to us with the kindness of Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. And we're about to push the ignition button now on the Joy Business Report, brought to you by Omni Basic Bank. at your service.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, persistent demand pressures for dollar would continue to weigh negatively on the cedi's performance this week, as yet-to-date depreciation of the local currency stands at 3%. Also coming up, World Bank awaits Parliament's approval to facilitate transfer of $300 million budget support for Ghana. And Director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research urges government to prioritize tax efficiency instead of introducing new taxes to reduce the cost of living. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hello to our friends listening on KTU Radio in Koforidua. The persistent demand pressures for the dollar would continue to weigh negatively on the cedi's performance this week. This follows a marginal depreciation of the local currency last week, taking its year-to-date loss to about 3%. Here's more in this report.
Elevated demand continued to inhibit the cedi's performance last week, causing it to weaken across the major trading currencies. The central bank supported the market with $3 million, but this was not substantial enough to keep the local currency afloat as it shed 0.6% week on week against the American greenback to 12 cedis 53 pesos to $1 at the week's close. The local unit also depreciated 0.16% versus the pound, but gained 0.19% against the euro. Global creditors and rating agencies convened a meeting last week to discuss the impact of rating agencies on some debt-distressed nations, including Ghana. The meeting focused on how actions from rating agencies have exacerbated borrowing costs after successfully restructuring debt. Analysts believe a positive revision to the rating method for the debt-distressed countries by these agencies would be positive for investor confidence in Ghana and improve the cedi's outlook in the medium term. Nonetheless, the pressure on the cedi is expected to continue.
That was a business desk report. Let me give you an idea how it is looking like right now in the currency market. These are figures from the retail market. The dollar going for 12 cedis 55 pesos, the pound going for 15 cedis 70 pesos, and the euro going for 13 cedis 38 pesos. Now, the World Bank is currently awaiting Parliament's approval to facilitate the transfer of $300 million in budgetary support for Ghana. This is what Joy Business has picked up from persons working on this facility from the bank in Washington, D.C., U.S. Georgia fears more.
Joy Business understands that because this is a loan facility, it needs cabinet approval first, as well as Parliament, before the funds can be disbursed. We understand that the Finance Ministry has already secured the required approval from cabinet. The agreement has now been sent to Parliament for consideration and approval. It is not clear for now whether the World Bank agreement is currently before the Finance Committee and has been approved at that level before the whole House of Parliament considers and approves the deal. After Parliament gives its blessing to this package, the necessary disbursement can be made to government's account at the Bank of Ghana. The World Bank last month approved some $300 million to aid the recovery of Ghana's economy. This was after Ghana passed the first review under the IMF program. But for some, at the time that the Ghana cedi is going through some challenges because of high demand from businesses resulting in its depreciation, this disbursement coming after Parliament's approval may go a long way to turn around the dwindling fortunes of the Ghana cedi.
George Rafe with that report. Now, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Quarty, wants the government to focus on improving tax collection efficiency before considering introducing new taxes. In an interview with Joy Business, he warned that new taxes would overburden citizens and negatively impact on the cost of living. He was reacting to new data from Nambio, placing Ghana third in West Africa with the highest cost of living.
If we just impose taxes, people's real, without a commensurate support to the productive sectors, people's real incomes or purchasing power will come down. You can look at the existing tax handles and make them more efficient, ensure that we reduce the human interface and make tax payments affordable, easier, and quicker so that people would comply, as well as ensuring that the taxes that are collected are used to the benefit of the taxpayer. Otherwise, it will be difficult for citizens to continue to pay taxes.
You had Director of ESET, Professor Peter Quartey. Now, the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Elsie Adoaji, is asking financial institutions to complement the central bank's effort in combating money laundering and financing of terrorism. According to her, collaboration from all sector players is key in curbing the menace. Speaking at a forum, she reiterated the Bank of Ghana's commitment to deepening financial inclusion that is safe and sound.
After all of the reforms we put in place from 2018, 2019, 2020, that got us off all the adverse listings, where are we today? The economy has moved on. The way in which we do business in Ghana has moved on. The risks that surround us in the sub-region have increased. The geopolitical risks around the world, as you know, have increased. So where does that leave Ghana in terms of the risks that we face in terms of money laundering, terrorism financing, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction? Where does that leave us? And does our framework, do all the reforms we set out still hold? Are they still strong enough to address the risks that we face today and that we will be facing into the foreseeable future?
Elsie Adoaji is second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. You're listening to the Joy Business Report. Now, from the 1st of May, companies that fail to file their annual returns will have to pay a penalty of 1,000 cedis. This was disclosed by the Registrar of Companies, Jemima Wari. The Office of the Registrar of Companies has started removing more than 8,000 businesses from its register. This is due to the failure of these businesses to file their annual returns. But Mrs. Owari says her office is giving an extended grace period till April for businesses to redeem themselves.
Ensure that if you really want to be on the register, as a company doing serious business in Ghana, come to our offices and come and file your annual returns and financial statements by the end of April 2024. We've even given a further period of 1 month up to the end of May, because from 1st of May, a penalty will apply of 1,000. So if you are not able to do it by April, by May, when you come, you pay a penalty of 1,000. It's a flat rate.
That's Registrar of Companies, Jemima Owari. The Deputy Chief Executive of Ghana Cocoa Board, Emmanuel Ankwa, is calling on the newly inducted chartered accountants to serve as trusted business advisors to support the growth of small and medium enterprises. According to him, this will be an additional attribute to just serving as normal accountants to a particular business in the country. Speaking at the 42nd graduation and admission ceremony of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana in Accra, Emmanuel Ankwa said accounting plays a vital role in economic development, hence the need for new accountants to go beyond their normal duties.
As a chartered accountants, we must serve as trusted advisors to establish businesses and support and nurture the entrepreneurial spirit within our, whether advising startups or financial planning, assisting with tax compliance, or providing strategic guidance on growth and expansion. Accountants play a vital role in fostering innovation and driving economic development. In addition to technical proficiency, workplace ethics are paramount in maintaining our profession's integrity. As professionals, we must adhere to the highest standards of conduct in all aspects of our work.
Emmanuel Ankwa, the Deputy Chief Executive of Cocoa Board. Let's turn to Investor Eye today. If you suspect an investment arrangement to be fraud, never go ahead to engage the company. Don't also provide any personal information to suspicious investment companies. Let's listen to the head of Technical ICT and Digital Forensic at the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Amankwata.
When someone feels they have received an investment message, that could potentially be a scam. There are several steps they can take to protect themselves. 1. Do not respond to the message. Avoid engaging with the sender or providing any personal or financial information. 2. Research about the sender. Look up for the company or individual who sent you the online message. Check for any negative review or report of scam associated with their name. 3. Verify the information. If the message claimed to be from a reputable organization or financial institution, contact them directly through their official line. 4. Watch out for red flags. Be on the look for common signs of investment scam, such as they offering you guarantee of high returns with little to no risk.
I was head of technical and ICT digital forensic at the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko Amankwata, and in the Joy Business Report. Before we go look at the commodity market, crude oil increased marginally to $82 a barrel. Gold opened trading at $2,019 an ounce after losing $10. Cocoa also opened trading at $5,583 a ton after losing $16. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues. Don't go anywhere.
All right, so thank you very much, Daryl Kwao. Thank you very much, Daryl Kwao, for joining us with the latest in the world of business. Eben says, how about having jollof this morning?
Not a bad idea at all.
It's not, eh?
It's not. Not at all.
Okay. So you're going to sponsor that?
Well, he mentioned it, so I guess. And Eben has got some money coming.
Okay. Well, let's go for an inspirational song then. Oh, Eben wants to. Eben, you want to make a point? Please go ahead. And
I just want to say the fact that I mentioned it doesn't mean I'm sponsoring.
Oh, why are you saying that? Anyway, let's go for
I'm just coming back from leave, so come and
okay.
support that.
Well, let's go for an inspirational song for today here on the Super Morning Show. Nigerians talking about the number of times they've been to the final. We've been to the final more times. Yes. Yes, Ghana.
I mean, come on.
Oh, yes.
You are just attempting to even match, not
You guys
beat,
are
match
just
a record.
pulling
And you failed.
Nigeria. The fact that you got the guts to even attempt to tease them the way that you have done. Oh God.
Somebody says he's sending them love and light, especially light.
Yeah, because I mean it's a country where light is where light is a luxury.
It's a luxury.
So yeah, it's normal. I mean, I saw John Dumelo and this one. He says, "Oh, your career has gone south. Now you say you are a farmer." And he says, "When you get light to turn on your TV, you see my new movies."
Oh my God!
Yeah, I mean
that's powerful.
I mean, for Nigeria, their major problem is the electricity situation, and I mean everybody knows that, isn't it? Anyway, let's get to our Drive Safe campaign this morning, brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group, and supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance, solid protection. So take advantage of safety devices. Safety features can help with defensive driving. Keep seatbelts fastened at all times, and always ensure airbags are in working order. Some vehicles offer other safety features that benefit defensive drivers, such as blind spot monitors and lane assist. Many modern vehicles make a beeping sound if you attempt to back up or change lanes when a car or other object is in the way. So the tip today, take advantage of safety devices.
All right. Let's learn how to say it right now, which is brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done. You say either, I say either.
Ghanaians are having so much fun teasing, trolling, and cooking their Nigerian cousins for their loss at the AFCON final. They're taking every opportunity to remind them that there is little glory in being runners-up. And that's runners-up, not runner-ups. You know, this is quite a common mistake. The easy way to remember how to say it right is by remembering that it is the runners that are plural, not the up. Same goes for an expression like hangers on. The key is to pluralize the noun. That is how you say it right. Yeah, it's the runners that are plural, not the up.
So this is still related to Nigeria.
Oh well, I mean, yes, it's a say it right in their honor.
Oh, more Niger, don't suffer.
All right, let's get into the news review. It's brought to us this morning, as always, by Syntex Tank, Air Strong, Air Tough, and Enterprise Insurance at 100. Yafinie promotion, celebrating our legacy, securing your future.
All right, I'd like to start with a New Finder newspaper. There's a story on Val's Day, which is just tomorrow. Paper says that high prices of Valentine's Day gift items fuel low patronage, and that's according to traders. So they say that demands for gift items are usually very high on Valentine's Day. However, it's not the same. Market is currently slow, considering that one of the women who spoke to the paper said that she started selling from last week. She explained that traditionally most market women in La Paz, for instance, would wait until 3 days before Valentine's Day before selling. But this year, they started displaying their product ahead of time. So far, people are not really buying. And those who come around ask for prices and then say that they will come back later. Now, the prices of things have gone up. People who are selling things related to Val's Day, which is just tomorrow, are complaining that people are not
what that
patronizing.
means? It means that if you receive anything for Valentine's Day this year, you should be super appreciative. You should really appreciate it because it's taken more than usual to make that happen.
I agree. All right, listen, row over restriction of 142 medicines, pharmaceutical sector divided in a heated debate. That story is really important. I'll bring a bit of it to you. VIP's tax reforms good, but can't wait till 2025. That's Professor Lord Mensah. I know that we're going to be talking about the VAT aspect of his speech and whether or not it is possible. Remove taxes on agric input to boost sector. That's a call coming through. But the bit about the medicines, which is on page 2 of the paper, says the pharmaceutical sector in Ghana is embroiled in a heated debate over the proposed Executive Instrument 2023, which seeks to restrict the importation of some 142 medicines. This contentious issue has sparked disagreement between key stakeholders, namely the Ghana National Chamber of Pharmacy and the Pharmaceutical Importers and Wholesalers Association on one side and the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana on the other.
Okay, let's get to the graphic. The daily graphic says FDA to shut down unlicensed canteens, and so the Food and Drugs Authority is one that it may close canteen and food service units of public institutions if they operate without a valid food hygiene permit from the authority, and is therefore caution all unlicensed food service establishments that failure to acquire the food hygiene permit by February 29 would attract the requisite regulatory sanctions, which may include closure of facilities, fines, and or criminal prosecutions. Tackling climate change, Ghana to receive $850 million support from Switzerland. GCB Bank appoints Daniel Isrifi as board chairman, and many of our country's laws outmoded. And guess who's speaking? Professor Raymond Atuguba. And so the dean of the University of Ghana School of Law, Professor Raymond Atuguba, has said many of the country's laws are outmoded, making it difficult for people to adhere to ethical principles in the corporate world, particularly the banking sector. So he was speaking at the GCB Platinum Thought Leadership Conference in Accra. He said that the country still had about 10 English laws in its statutes passed between 1539 and 1863. What? Okay, so that's just by way of information. Back page.
Hope the lawmakers are listening and reading.
Yes, I'm sure. But the good thing also is that researchers must bring out some of these things, and then they, those whose responsibility it is to change the laws, particularly the parliamentarians, should be asking which laws are these, so they could start, private member bills to amend them if necessary, or the Attorney General or whichever agency it affects could actually suggest, amendments, and then we'll pick it up from there. But 259 MMDC is inaugurated. We're told that, MMDAs, 259 Metropolitan District Assemblies were yesterday inaugurated across the country for a 4-year tenure aimed at fostering local development and governance. So it comes with a photograph of, some new members at the Ghana West Municipal Assembly who are taking their oath.
All right, that same story also in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. 259 MMDAs inaugurated nationwide as assembly members take office. GCB Bank appoints new board chairman. 7 arrested over alleged murder of Jirapa Dubai CEO. Now, this is a really, really important update. We know that when it first happened, and this, we understand, happened sometime Saturday dawn.
Yeah.
And we know the police arrested one person immediately on Sunday.
Yeah.
Following that, they arrested some 4 more persons, and yesterday there was yet another update of 2 others who had been arrested.
Yeah. So all the 7 people are workers of the hotel. The first person to be arrested was the person who mans the gate of the executive suite, which is where the owner's private apartment is.
Right.
So the assailant, apparently, according to our reports, gained access to the compound with a ladder, climbed over the wall into the compound, somehow had a key card with which he entered the apartment of Eric Johnson. He was found wearing a towel in a pool of blood, stabbed several times, abdomen, chest, face, and so forth. This person then, to escape, took Eric Johnson's car keys, drove his car to the gate, honked his horn, and the security guys just let him out. So the first person to be arrested was the security guy on duty at that gate on that night. Then there were 4 more people arrested. The private cook of Eric Johnson, 2 security officers, head of security and another officer, And the fourth person to be arrested was the manager of the hotel. He also happens to be a manager of other businesses belonging to Eric Johnson. Then there were two more arrested, a maintenance officer and a waitress. A waitress who we actually met when we were there some time ago. So that's the situation at the moment.
Yeah.
And I guess police are trying to get information from these.
I think we
seven
like the speed at which they've been working so far. The big question that we've all been asking: why
It's
why
so
did
tragic,
this happen?
So tragic,
Yeah.
so painful. I
So
mean,
we hope that we can find answers. It won't bring him back, but we certainly can get the family justice.
it would be a pity if anyone got away with such a crime.
Okay. The Economic Times for this morning says City to end 2024 at 13.4 to $1, and Bawumia admits
Above 12.
Yes, above 12. It's supposed to end it at 13.40. So 13 cities, 40 pesos to $1.
Why can't it come down? Why can't we, go to 10?
Well, I mean, a number of things. Our reserves are going down. Our foreign exchange reserves are going down. And things. Look, it's not getting easier. I mean, it's not like we are fixing these problems, and so things are getting easier. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time.
How much time? I wish somebody would, speak to us on this, because that's not fair. I mean, we're talking about 13, and we're supposed to be happy about that.
We're not. You can check the. During the vice president's vision, he admits, and he will tell you things he wants to. But this is the point. This is a simple point. You need too much dollars. You don't have them. If you don't have them, the market will operate. There's a demand and supply thing. The market will operate. You need them. You don't have them. So what would the market do? And the moment, you see, let me be very honest with you. I mean, part of our problem going for this IMF bailout and everything, because it had become obvious we couldn't. So we were talking about balance of payment support and all of that, because it was obvious we couldn't get dollars into the country. It was obvious we didn't have access to the international capital market, where over a long period of time we had consistently borrowed at the beginning of every year to actually ensure that we had enough dollars in the system to actually artificially, people would tell you, artificially affect our exchange rate. We don't have that luxury today. All we can do is to rely on, these bilateral, these international institutions like the IMF. If you're fortunate enough to have, some countries giving you dollars, you can't go to the international capital market. And people are in need of dollars every day. So if I have my dollars, it's a demand thing. I'll sell it to you at a higher price.
My sister, just last week, had some pounds sent into her pound account from the UK. So it's a pound account with one of the commercial banks here in Ghana. Just a couple of thousand. She had to go to several branches to get enough foreign exchange to make up the amount. She had to go for 200 from here, 500 from here, 300 from here. She had to come into Accra, Spentex, East Legon, all kinds of places.
That seemed to be common now, because I've heard two others talk about the same thing. Not pounds though, but the US dollar. Not the gold for oil thing that we pride ourselves in. I thought it was the solution and it was working. So why are we not seeing a better result than 13.40? This is just the beginning of the year. We're talking about ending 2024.
Yeah, the truth is that the rate of depreciation has slowed now. But of course, in the heat of 2022, we had a huge depreciation of the Ghana cedi. And, you probably would have heard, the finance minister talking about the fact that in 2023, cumulatively about 20% depreciation. But from February going, it was about 9% also. Your reality today is that you don't have a lot of dollars in the system.
We need the Bank of Ghana to do way better than they're doing right now.
You actually need a plan of import substitution, which we have talked about for God knows how long. Ghana is one of the few countries where we know all the solutions to our problems. It's like the man who weeds with his mouth. You come and meet him. He's telling you, I'll weed to this place, to that place. Go and come back. He's standing at the same place. So every day we'll tell you all the solutions to our problems. You come and meet us at the same place.
We have to do a sweepstake on how often Winston will be forced to make this analogy between now and the end of the year, because far too often our situation calls for it.
It's the same. It's the same. And BOG locks up 12 billion from banking sector. I think we can go for the online news review.
It's brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
And Goyle is asking, what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just top up anywhere? Well, let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. So Goyle Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Also, Goyle Super XP Ron 95 is a high-grade fuel sold at same price as normal fuel. And Goyle Diesel XP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. And with over 440 stations across the nation, join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle Yen Ara Yedim.
And on myjoyonline.com this morning, parties must monitor NIA's operations over the planned use of Ghana card in elections. John Mahama's the one saying that. Now, demand action from police and judiciary over assault on journalists. That's the Information Minister, Kujopon Nkrumah, saying this to the GJA. Before that, he had actually agreed with the GJA's approach of boycotting those accused of attacking journalists, which kind of is different from what Mr. Ayebwafo, head of the National Media Commission, had to say on the matter. I mean, I'm glad the Information Minister agrees with us. I hope he also knows that he can play quite a strong role in helping the GJA demand action from the police and the judiciary on these long overdue cases of assault on journalists. All right, shall we go for the BBC News?
Let's do it.
It's brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Enterprise Insurance at 100. Celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Time-tested, truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Great
Great news is here. Batmat is here again. XXL clearance sale. Guaranteed savings. From now till the end of April, the big sale continues. Get discounts of up to 70% off sanitary wares, light tiles, waterproofing, and all other product families. It's the year to get things done. Visit our showroom at the North Industrial Area next to the Winners Chapel, Ghana. Don't miss out. Batmat, welcome home.
Honey, I know you're a bit hard up now, so I've decided to sell the gold necklace you bought for me, so at least we can pay our rent.
Wow, that's so nice of you. But you see, there's just one problem though. The necklace, is actually not real gold.
So it's not real gold, it's real what?
It looks like gold, but it's actually fake.
So all this while I've been walking around thinking there's real gold on my neck, not knowing it's galamsey chain.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry for yourself. No wonder you're broke. You continue being broke, sir.
Don't wait till a rainy day to realize you've been played. Times are hard. Invest right. Invest with iVest, the smart fixed-term investment account from Isway that gives you real value. iVest, real returns for real people. Call Isway now on 0302-208-222 or text iVest to 4993 to get started. Isway, your trusted financial solutions partner. Isway is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation.
You're listening to the BBC World Service, and here's what's happening in the studio this week.
John Foreman is a land artist. He sculpts using natural materials like stone, sand and driftwood. We join him on a secluded beach in Pembrokeshire, West Wales, where he shares insights from his creative process as his latest sculpture evolves.
In the studio, today at 11:30 and 18:30 GMT. At 8:30 GMT, Business Daily.
We'll be looking into the business of fear. How and why does the macabre make so much money? Why are we as humans so drawn to death, destruction and mayhem? We'll also be finding out what happens when a volunteer reaches their peak fear threshold.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello and welcome to Newsday here on the BBC World Service with Joe Inwood and Victoria Wonghunda.
Coming up, Palestinians sheltering in Rafah fear an impending Israeli offensive. The United Nations warns that an assault would be terrifying. We'll hear from people on the ground.
We are tired. We all need help with our mental health for years. All suffering we have seen. We want the war to end.
A court tells the Dutch government to stop delivering parts of F-35 fighter jets used by Israel in the Gaza Strip. We'll speak to one of the lawyers who represented those who took the case to court.
Jailed former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra is to be freed. We go to Bangkok for the very latest.
And we'll find out why takeaway delivery drivers in the UK are planning to spoil your Valentine's Day celebration. All that and more, but first, the latest world news.
I'm Stuart McIntosh with the BBC News. Hello. President Biden has called for more than 1 million Palestinians sheltering in Rafah in southern Gaza to be protected against an expected ground offensive by Israel. He described them as exposed and vulnerable. Mr. Biden was speaking at the White House after talks with King Abdullah. With more from Jerusalem, here's Barbara Plett-Usher.
I think that the operation into Rafah probably will happen. The Israelis seem quite determined, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen right away. You have had a lot of opposition expressed from the United Nations first and foremost, and the Israelis need the UN in order to set up an alternate location for all those hundreds of thousands of people who are sheltering in Rafah. And that those very pointed comments from President Biden that there should be a plan to evacuate them and it needs to be a credible plan to protect them. I think it's doubtful the Israelis would go ahead full bore with such an operation without at least some sort of clearance from the Americans.
Thailand's government says the billionaire former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra will be freed within days from the hospital where he's been serving a one-year jail term. The Prime Minister said he'd been granted parole. He said Mr Thaksin had done many good things for Thailand. Last-minute talks to prevent a major planned protest by Indian farmers in Delhi have ended without a breakthrough. The farmers want guaranteed minimum prices to be extended to all crops. More from the BBC's Nikhil Inamdar.
There are reports of some farmers being detained even before they enter the capital city, Delhi, where security has been completely beefed up with things such as barbed wires, barricades, as well as cement blocks in order to prevent some of the farmers coming in from Haryana and Punjab in the north from entering Delhi, preventing their tractors from entering Delhi. Mobile connectivity has also been restricted in the state of Haryana. There is some consensus the farmer bodies have reached with the government, but a full breakthrough is still far away, and we expect this agitation to continue today.
The authorities in the Australian state of Victoria have urged residents of several rural communities to evacuate their homes because of the severe risk of wildfires. Officials say it could prove impossible for emergency crews to reach some areas. From Sydney, Phil Mercer has more details.
A catastrophic fire rating is in place in Victoria's Wimmera region. It's the first time such an alert has been issued since Australia's Black Summer disaster of 2019-20. A heat wave, a lack of rain and very strong winds are intensifying the risk of severe blazes. Parts of southeastern Australia are some of the world's most fire-prone areas. The climate is generally hot and dry, especially during the summer.
That was Phil Mercer, and you're listening to the latest world news from the BBC. The Armenian Defence Ministry says 2 of its soldiers have been killed by Azerbaijani forces in the southern region of Sayunik. A statement accused them of shooting at Armenian positions near the border. On Monday, Azerbaijan said one of its soldiers was wounded when Armenian troops opened fire in the nearby district of Zangilan. Both countries have said they want a durable peace treaty after decades of conflict. The security forces in Colombia have seized 5.5 tons of cocaine, which was destined for the United States. Soldiers found the drugs in an underground storeroom during a raid on a house in the town of Necoclí on Colombia's Caribbean coast. The defense minister said the cocaine belonged to the country's biggest drugs cartel, the Gulf Clan. A BBC investigation has found that a pesticide manufacturer in Britain failed to consider key health records when it rejected allegations that its product could cause Parkinson's disease. Syngenta makes the weed killer paraquat. Farmers suffering from Parkinson's in the United States are suing the firm, saying the pesticide was the cause. The company insists there's no evidence of a direct link. The first survey of the impact of avian flu on seabirds around Britain shows the virus has caused a dramatic decline in 3 species. The RSPB counted the bird populations last year, 2 years after the virus first spread to the UK. Our science reporter, Georgina Ranard, has the details.
A powerful bird known as the pirate of the seas suffered the largest decline of the creatures surveyed. According to the RSPB, the great skua population in the UK has fallen by 76% since 2021. Gannets and roseate terns were also badly affected. The 3 species were growing in numbers before the H5N1 strain of avian flu hit wild birds. The RSPB says its new report is a wake-up call about the serious risk posed by avian influenza to the UK seabirds.
That's the BBC News.
We've got red hot deals at Oka Deco this Valentine's season. Set the mood and express your love with exclusive decor, gifts, accessories, and much more from Oka. Enjoy red hot deals from now until 17th February. Make someone feel special. Visit Oka Deco at Accra Mall and on Spintex Road this Valentine.
Hello, Ghana. I've got great news for you. After 26 years of academic excellence globally, Botho University is now in Ghana, offering degree programs in health information management, cybersecurity and risk management, software engineering, network security, and computer forensics. Admissions are ongoing for January 2024 with up to 50% scholarship for the first 150 students. We offer flexible payment terms, internship opportunities, and experiential exchange programs with our sister campuses. Pick up your admission form today at our East Legon campus near ANC Mall or call 0302 523 782 or WhatsApp 020 990 4714 for more information. Both the university, vibrance, innovation, impact.
coffee in your cup, and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best.
And the judicial service accountable. I know the IGP is interested, I know the Chief Justice is interested. We'll get to that point where no police command or police office and then, play hanky-panky with these reports as they come to them. So, simply put, yes, I 100% support this as a tool. It will not be effective, but at least it will draw full attention. But what we need to do is to have some clear guidelines on when it is deployed to avoid gray areas. And then we secondly have to ensure that the officers of state who can deal with it, i.e. the police and the judicial service, are held accountable for it. That's why we went to Parliament to make a statement calling on Parliament to support. That's why we brought all the media stakeholder groups together to hold them accountable, and we need to continue with it.
Information Minister there, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, speaking on PM Express with Evans Mensah, and making it quite clear that he does support the GJA's approach of blacklisting any politician or person accused of attacking journalists. I mean, you have to understand the level of impotence that journalists have felt over the years after constant attacks have yielded absolutely no consequence for those who have, meted out these brutalities to journalists who are simply doing their jobs. There's been the feeling of powerlessness, that you can be attacked and nothing will happen to the person who did it. So of course, the GJA has decided to flex the only muscle they have, which is that the thing you need from us, we won't give it to you if you're going to attack us. Right? And somehow the National Media Commission, headed by Yao Ayabuafu, thinks that is a futile exercise. That they should find more productive ways of dealing with it. Like what? I mean, for such a comment to come from the NMC, for me is really troubling. Because you know what? They are the regulator of this space. And the regulator, the number one job of the regulator is to protect those in the space. Right? The PURC is supposed to protect customers and producers and, players in the power sector. They're supposed to protect them. So how is the NMC protecting journalists? Apart from telling them that protecting themselves is futile, what practically is the NMC doing to protect journalists? Because it is part of their role.
When the GJA first made the announcement, I thought, wait a minute, these are allegations not proven. Why do you take a unilateral decision to blacklist them? But I asked myself, why would the GJA do that? And I thought, this definitely is a cry for help. Because often when these things happen, you'd rely on the police to do the initial work, get people arrested, especially when you've gathered enough evidence. And with the incident that happened in the Central Region, we know there were eyewitnesses who were told that evidence collected as well that could help the police. But we haven't seen anybody arrested so far or anybody being prosecuted. The last incident had to do with a City FM correspondent during the END primaries. And again, we were told that they collected a lot of evidence. In fact, it was the police that stepped in to help. Otherwise, it would have even gotten worse. You would think that we would see a speedy process. And here we are with nothing. And, people have a very good relationship with the IGP. And sometimes I feel like we should direct the frustrations to the IGP. It's not enough when we take nice pictures or we sit down, we wine and dine with the IGP and not hold him accountable for some of these things, especially when it happens right under their nose. When you know that there were police officers there and nothing has happened. It's not enough. It's really, really not enough. I thought that the NMC would understand where the GJA is coming from, for instance. But it's also not enough to charge the judiciary, because you have to take something there and based on that, ask for more. So I say to the GJA, if the police not doing its work, there are other ways. You can take a civil action. we can go back to something that Samsung pursued with our colleagues at Adum FM, for instance. We can take that, go to CJ and say that this issue was dealt with. But if you look at the fines, and I'm talking about the NHIS staff that assaulted our colleagues at Adum FM sometime 2024, we can take that and say that even though the court dealt with it, we think that the fine was not punishment enough, because we still see people assault journalists every day. It's actually getting worse. We must begin something there so that we can build on it. Otherwise, what do you want the judiciary to do for you?
So I'm just looking at the functions of the National Media Commission, and I've decided to look at it from the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So if I look at the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, it says Article 167, and it talks about the functions. So it says the functions of the National Media Commission are A, to promote and ensure the freedom and independence of the media for mass communication or information. I would take A again, and that will be my only comment. To promote and ensure the freedom and independence of the media for mass communication or information. Do these actions in any way affect the freedom and promotion of the media for mass communication in this country? I say yes. Does the NMC then have a role in ensuring itself that these issues are dealt with? I say yes. In that case, was it right for the chairman, even in his private capacity, to have made those comments? My answer is no. And that would be all I'd say about this.
We should mount pressure on the IGP. We take beautiful pictures of him when he'll pose with students and things like that. We meet with him. When I say we meet with him, journalists meet with him. We've got to put pressure on him so that they will do the criminal part of it. In the meantime, we still can pursue an action in court, and I think that they should do that.
Great, but let's go for the UPSA Law School Point of Law series for today, and it's from the Lieutenant Colonel Isaac Owusu Chum Ampofo and Adelaide Chum Ampofo Civil Suit number H1 187-2014. Says, regardless of who paid for the property or whose name appears on the title document, once it is acquired during marriage, it assumes the nature of joint property due to marital contamination. Let me take it again for purposes of emphasis. Regardless of who paid for the property or whose name appears on the title document, once it is acquired during marriage, it assumes the nature of joint property due to marital contamination.
Mama V.
You guys don't like this very much.
Mama V.
Yes, Papa.
Them contamination, you know. This is the kind of contamination you like.
So, in this case, they were married for about 20 years before the marriage was dissolved, right? During the subsistence of the marriage, the property was acquired. The petitioner, in this case, the man, was insisting that he solely acquired it. And the woman also said that she contributed financially to it. But the court indicated that even if you didn't physically pay any money for it, but you, for instance, supervised the work, that's contribution.
So, Mama V, if you had a land, for instance, which was you bought before marriage, and you built on that land after marriage, is it joint property?
As in the two of us built on the land?
No, as in one man, just say one person.
If you can prove.
Assuming you, Mama V, had land somewhere, and then got married to Mr. Usu Abuaji, and then decided to build on the land that you acquired before marriage. Is the house joint
as
property?
an individual?
As an individual. You built it. Alone.
The Constitution allows me, even as a spouse, to own property in my name.
Can
by myself.
He says spouse, joint property. today
So yours is not contaminated.
No. I'm just clarifying something.
I'm taking it from that
I
angle,
want
don't
to
worry.
understand his question.
You understand? It's very simple.
So I bought the land before the marriage.
Before the marriage.
Uh-huh.
And you have now built on the land during marriage.
As an individual.
As an individual.
Okay. Without the contribution.
No contribution.
Okay.
But because it's in the course of marriage, based on this case, can it be said to be joint property?
It's a rebuttable assumption if I can prove, really.
That's
that this was solely my project.
The contamination there.
No. You know that even in the course of it, we can agree that this is my own project.
But why are you talking about something that has been agreed? We're talking about how this would work out in a dispute, not in an agreement.
I'm just saying that you may have agreed.
Mama,
you
if
can
you've
actually
agreed, it won't come up in a dispute.
Oh no. You
So
know
I'm
that
saying,
recently.
I'm saying, if there is a dispute, how will that be worked out? You bought the land before the marriage. You built on the land during the marriage. Your money, or you spent the money to build on it.
So I can insist and prove that this was done
no
solely by myself. No contribution, no contamination.
No, hold on, Mama. But if you, assuming you bought the land in the course of the marriage.
Hold
on. Mama, assuming you bought the land in the
course.
No, assuming you bought the land in the course of the
sir.
marriage. From your own contributions. And built everything on your own. Can I still claim that the peace of mind that I gave you and the advice I gave you is what led to your building of the house?
Oh, that's legitimate. You may, whether or not the court will believe and rule in your favor and say that we should share equally.
What would you say if all
it
the men?
depends on the court.
You see, if all the men on point of divorce made this claim, I spent
but what
the
I
money.
am what I'm making is legitimate. It's legit. You can also come from that position. That's
now
just
let me
what
make
I'm
the
saying.
argument this way. What if I, as your husband, for purposes of analysis, bought land, or decided, okay, bought land in the course of the marriage, built a house, you did not contribute. Is it joint property?
If you can prove it, that this was your own thing that you did and that I did not contribute to it.
But the statement here says
so no contribution.
But remember,
without contribution, still is joint property.
No, Mama B has
remember that as
we've
we've been talking about these issues of disposing or sharing of properties during divorces, we've been saying that it's not like a fixed one solution to all.
But
that's what we've been saying.
But the UPSA law series says contamination.
We've been saying that it's case by case.
So
the courts, you can cite this.
Is case by case.
You can cite this, but based on the evidence.
It says regardless of who paid for the property or whose name appears on the title document.
Listen to the law.
Once it is acquired during marriage, my guy, it assumes the nature of joint property due to marital contamination.
It's a rebuttable assumption.
Professor Kofi Abuchi, good morning.
Good morning.
Gertrude Amoko Ama,
good morning.
We will come back to you. After all, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yes, we will settle this matter romantically. Hey, matter day town. Anyway, look, today we've got other things to think about, other things to talk about. In addition to this, we are certainly interested in what the Vice President communicated as his vision, particularly when it came to taxes. A number of interesting things were proposed, and we definitely want to get to the bottom of it. We want to hear your view on it as well.
And Kojo, it's also important whether all that a vice president has said contradicts or otherwise our medium-term revenue structure or policy system or framework. So he's talked about all these things he wants to do. He's talked about abolishing the e-levy. He's talked about abolishing the betting tax. He's talked about removing all of VAT on electricity. Now, how do these sit in our medium-term revenue framework from 2024 to 2027? I have a copy of the document here, and it will shock you when I begin to read contents of it. And you do the analysis and say, the Vice President says this is what we intend to do from 2024 to 2027.
Very interesting. And I mean, we also have to put it in the context of an IMF program, which we are still in. Okay, and what have we told the IMF that we are going to do to get out of the program? What are the terms of this agreement? And how will the Vice President's vision affect those terms? How will we still be able to meet what we ourselves said we would do? These are very interesting things we want to get into. But more importantly, has the Vice President signaled that his view, at least on taxation, is nothing like the views of the President and the Finance Minister? Is that what he's signaling?
Because ordinary people, like myself, we're asking, if these are good policies, why can't we implement them now? Why do we have to wait?
That's another question we'll seek to answer on the show today. Stay with us. It's all coming up. And of course, don't forget, your views on this are even more important than anyone else's. And so get ready to share them. On X, use the hashtag JoySMS and we'll share your thoughts with the whole world.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the Super Morning Show. Yeah. Wake up to joy, joy, joy in the morning. Yeah. If you're turning on your radio, go for some joy in the morning. On the Super Morning Show. Welcome to the Joy Super Morning Show.
As a business owner, insurance is incredibly important now. When you have a business, you're not only responsible for your livelihood and goods, but also that of your customers and staff. And that's where SIC comes in. SIC Insurance PLC has the full array of insurance policies for your business, which covers property, that's building, workmen's compensation, key persons, we're talking professionals, also motor public liability, business interruption, and more. Potentially disastrous situations can be prevented with the right insurance cover. So talk to SIC Insurance today on 0800 1055 or 0302 823 100, and you will be glad you did. SIC Insurance, our promises are sacred.
Can't wait to visit family or friends in London? Well, now you don't have to. That's because British Airways flies there 10 times a week to 2 different airports, flying to London Heathrow or Gatwick Airport. Treat yourself to British Airways Club World and experience exceptional levels of comfort and service. Club World comes with a seat that reclines into a fully flat bed and offers you a premium dining experience, or you can fly World Traveller Plus and enjoy a quieter, more spacious cabin. Fly British Airways and experience the best of British hospitality on your journey to London. Don't wait. Book now at ba.com.
Now, a poorly maintained car engine can age faster, and that is why Total offers specially formulated quartz engine oil with age resistance technology. Now, it's a breakthrough that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressures. Choosing quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz, keep your engine younger for longer.
And get a loan of up to 450,000 Ghana cedis from Fidelity Bank. And also get rewarded. Switch your existing salaried loan to Fidelity Bank or get a new personal loan and enjoy the lowest fixed interest rate. Also repayment holiday option, guaranteed fixed monthly repayment or installment. Don't miss this offer. Call Fidelity Bank like right now on 0800 003355 or simply walk into any Fidelity Bank branch today and let them help you achieve that dream.
And let me tell you about the College of Medicine and Allied Sciences, which is a degree awarding institution, offering Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery using the Graduate Entry Medical Program, Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging, and BSc Health Information Management. All these programs are accredited by GTech. At Comas, we pride ourselves in our innovative bilingual curriculum that prepares you to consult in French and as a graduate with an entrepreneurial, research, and ethical mindset. Admissions are currently ongoing. All SHS graduates who wish to obtain a degree in health, all SHS graduates who wish to obtain a first degree in information management, SHS science graduates wishing to gain a degree in Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging, and graduates with science backgrounds who wish to accomplish their dream of becoming medical doctors. Contact us now on 0208 456 556 or send us an email, info@comas.edu.gh. Comas, the citadel of a holistic professional medical education.
All right, now, Toyota users have some great news coming for you. It's a revolution. If you want your Toyota engine to function optimally, then there's only one choice, the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil has been rigorously tested and proven to be the best oil for your Toyota engine. Specially crafted to keep your Toyota engine running smoothly and efficiently. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil is available at all Toyota Ghana branches across the country. Nothing makes your engine happier than good old Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. For bulk purchase or distribution, why don't you call Toyota Ghana on 0302 429 801. Toyota Ghana Company Limited is proud to be associated with Joy FM and Joy News' Drive Safe campaign on the Super Morning Show. Toyota, superior quality.
Now, save the date for the 4th edition of the Omnibusig Bank Health Walk happening on Saturday, March 2nd, 2024 at the forecourt of the State House from 5:30 a.m. The walk will start from the forecourt of the State House through to the principal streets of Accra and back to the same venue for aerobics and fun-packed activities. Keep the dates open. Participation is completely free. So come with your friends and family. Let's promote a healthier community. Remember, the date is Saturday, March 2nd, 2024, and it's the Omnibusig Bank Health Walk. Better health starts here. For more information, kindly call the contact center on 0307 086 000 or 0302 758 555, or you can call the toll-free number, which is 0800 100 790. Omnibusig Bank at your service.
And you know, every time we eat food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. Well, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste is the way to go. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Pepsodent Charcoal white gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissues while giving you strong teeth. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call toll-free 0800 161 000. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll-free 0800 2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Time to get the best returns on your investment by investing with iVest, a secured fixed-term investment from Isway that offers so much more with a minimum of 5,000 Ghana cedis over a minimum period of 3 months. Increase your earnings by investing over a maximum period of 12 months. Times are hard, so invest right. Open an iVest account today and invest your way to massive wealth. iVest, real value for real people. Call Isway now on 05965914, 843, or text iVest to 4993 to get started. Isway, your trusted financial solutions partner. Isway is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation.
And start the new year with easy and secure movement with SG Ghana. Get reliable motor insurance and receive free fuel for your car. Buy or renew your sound drive insurance with SG Ghana from now till the 31st of March and get free fuel of up to 500 Ghana cedis for your trips. It's time to hit the road with reliable insurance and free fuel. Visit any SG Ghana branch today and get the cover you need for your car, plus free fuel to take you places. Sound Drive plan is underwritten by Allianz Insurance. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
So, Premium Motors Limited wants to make this February the most memorable one. Yes, buy a Renault Coleos and let us whisk you away to the enchanting city of Dubai with your partner within the month of love. Now, this exclusive offer is valid only for the month of February, so do not miss out on this opportunity to make this Valentine unforgettable. Visit Premium Motors Limited today, test drive the Renault Coleos, and make that decision or call 0307 07 9977 or 0307 080010. Renault Coleos, where luxury meets intimacy. And this vehicle is distributed by Premium Motors Limited. Terms and conditions apply, Mama V.
You remember the drive safe tip today that you gave, that the car can help you? This vehicle has that.
Oh, I see. Then I have to look for money and get one.
It will give you the signals.
Hey.
If you're getting too close to a vehicle or something like that, it gives you that beep sound, you know?
I'm just impressed.
Keeps you alert.
I'm just impressed that you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. All right, don't forget Kingdom Books and Stationery invites you to their website, kingdomstoreonline.com, to pick up all of the very best quality office essentials, equipment and furniture. And of course, to pay via Momo across all networks. Very convenient. They will deliver to Accra and Tema for free. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And get more value for your money with a Hollad into Swore Motor promotion. You get into Swore when you sign up to the Hollad's motor insurance between now and April. Enjoy free fuel vouchers, also free roadside assistance when your car breaks down. An amazing gift too. With Hollad's quick motor insurance claims process, you've got the best insurance ever. Yato Subruta into contact your insurance broker or the nearest Hollad office. You can also call the toll-free number, which is 0800 444 999 to sign up. Join the Peppo family. Hollad Insurance. We insure you and everything you love.
All right, birthdays coming up. Also, the Joy Sports Center right after these messages.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide. High credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100 or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
All right, a bunch of birthdays coming up. Birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
I want to start. Today's my son's birthday.
Oh,
he's
come on.
12 today. Papa Kwejo Nunana Owusuabuade. He
Papa
turns
Kwejo.
12 today. Yeah.
Is he your first?
My first.
Wow.
Yeah, we love you so much. Look at him. He
Yeah.
says mine is
That's
football.
lovely.
Yeah, that's the footballer. He's everything football, man.
Yeah.
Commentary, gaming, the watching, the analysis, the players, and he's a true Man U.
Am I his role model? Am I his role
Oh,
model?
he loves you. He will be on your show. Just invite him.
He just doesn't like your name, Abibatu.
That's not my name.
Baba Gojo, happy birthday. Your parents love you very much. They really enjoyed creating you.
We all love him.
Not
keep
just
making
them
proud.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Uncle Fence.
Yes, not just
Uncle Fentu, Salamatu Abibatu Fentu.
That's right.
Well, this
we
is
even left out the Tahiru.
Tahiru, you see, happy birthday.
Listen, take your radio.
To Ifa Kankam of the Roman Reid School from your classmates Nora, Simon, Namoko, and Chloe, Grace, and Ashley. And this one also says happy birthday to Miss Michelle Owusubwa Chi, who is a student of Wisconsin International University. Let God lead you in all your endeavors. It's from your friend Felix Beidu. And this one says happy birthday to lawyer Kweku Owusu Ajman of Keachi Law Firm Kanda. A special dedication from the family and all your friends. Have a fantastic day.
All right, I've got this one too. My dear Deborah Miller, I always have smiles on my face at the sight of you. You were so little just a few years ago. Today you have grown up so well. You're a miracle, so blessed and highly favored. I love you, my baby girl. I'm proud to be your sister. Happy glorious birthday to you, dearie. May God show you more favor, especially today. And it's from our own Na Rhoda to you, Deborah Miller.
All right. Happy birthday to our daughter, this one says. Ruth Dufie Obing Tieku of Presbyterian University, Ghana, Agogo campus. You happen to be the daughter of Mr. Desmond Obing Tieku. And the message is that we pray for divine wisdom, enabling grace and photographic memory and good health for you this day forward. It's from your uncle, Papa Tieku of Kufuridia. And this one says, happy birthday to Mark Ofori Kwafo, Esquire, head of legal at First Atlantic Bank. It's from your loving wife, Linda Ofori Kwafo, and the boys, Kobe, Kevin, and Chris Joel Ofori Kwafo. God bless you abundantly in this new year, Daddy. There you go. I think we're done with the birthdays.
Yes.
Are we not?
Done. We're done.
Fantastico. All right. Now, this is time for the Joy Sports Center, brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. Twisco Energy Food Drink.
Fenty, where are you going?
Come and say Twisco. Where are you going?
Come and power your dream with Twisco.
Twisco Energy Food Drink from Promasidor Company Limited. Twisco, power your dream.
All right, listen. MTN has a Momo app. If you do not have it already downloaded, please do, because it's specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. So download the Momo app on Play Store, App Store, on your smartphone, and look out for the blue and yellow icon. Momo app allows you to view your statement. You can pay bills and do so much more with it. Use the Momo app for your Momo transactions and enjoy 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go.
Welcome to your future designer, exclusively to propel women-led businesses to the next level. Are you a female entrepreneur developing technology or leveraging technology? Then the Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator Program offers specialized mentoring, mini MBA courses, curated networks, tailored masterclasses, and seed funding to help you unlock unimaginable business growth. The program is implemented by Ashesi University's Ghana Climate Innovation Center. Apply now to the Standard Chartered Women in Tech Program. Visit their website, scwomenintechgh.com, or the Standard Chartered Bank Ghana social media pages. For more information, application deadline is the 29th February 2024.
How did Crystal Palace Chelsea end yesterday?
Chelsea won by 3-1. You were coming to tease.
No, I didn't see. I saw the beginning, but
and the beginning
I'm just
was
wondering whether to call you Salah or
the
Fence.
beginning agenda was going for you until Chelsea stepped out last minute, and that's true, because Chelsea Football Club, they came from behind to win 3-1 in the Premier League yesterday against Crystal Palace. That's to come a little later. But good morning and welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center with me, Fentu Tahiru Fentu. Coming up over the next 10 minutes, exactly 1 week after the Public Accounts Committee ordered for the arrest of the Northern Regional NSA boss, she remains at post. We'll tell you exactly what the latest is regarding that. Also, a little later today, President Akufo-Addo will finally commission the Boteman Sports Complex, the construction of which started in 2021. And the commissioning is coming 25 days to the start of the African Games. All of that to come here on the show.
Well, I must.
All right, let's settle for the details now. First up, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They've been knocked out of the MTN FA Cup by Karela United, who beat the Porcupine Warriors 2-0 in Tamale yesterday. 2 second-half goals from Solomon Abuaje and Ibrahim Giyas were enough to send Abubakar Dambe's men through to the quarterfinals. Here's the coach after the match.
Well, I must say it's quite refreshing because the aim of every game is to win. And we have struggled in the past. And all things being equal, I think registering 2 goals without conceding is something we should be very grateful about. So I think my initial comments are well done to my players.
Abubakar Damba is caretaker manager for Karela United. Now, the biggest talking point from that game was the quality of the pitch at the Aliyu Muhammad Stadium, which looked grassless under the harsh conditions of the Harmattan. Now, I spoke to Say Mubarak, he's a sports journalist based in Tamale, and started by asking him how the stadium has been left to deteriorate to this extent.
Unfortunately, what we saw yesterday was so bad. And I must say, since the construction of this stadium, this is the first time we've seen the edifice, going bad to this extent. And a lot of questions were asked as to why, this particular situation. In fact, after the game or even before the game, coaches of the two sides were not happy, and the expectations or the concerns were that how do we expect these players to perform on pitches like this. In fact, it was a topic. The 2-0 win for Karela has not been what we are discussing on social media. The talk has always been about, the nature of the pitch, which I think is definitely not the best at this particular moment. I'm wondering what the club licensing authority is doing in relation to this particular facility, because what I know is that before the commencement of the second half, they will go rounds again to check the standard of our pitches before the matches, start. I will not be surprised with all that is happening if the Aliyu Muhammad Sports Stadium is actually not possibly approved for matches in the second half because of the nature of the pitch.
The Public Accounts Committee actually recommended the arrest of the Northern Regional NSA boss, Madam Salamatu Al-Hassan. What is the situation with that? Has she been arrested, or what's happening? Because it's been exactly a week since that order was given.
Sancho, that is another worrying issue, because we all know that she's in charge of the management of this facility. Many believe that she came through, because she has very close relationship with the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so whatever happens, she doesn't care. I must actually admit that she is free as of now. There has not been any arrest. And the unfortunate aspect of it is also that while she doesn't come to work, she sits at her comfort and then directs what should be done at the Aliyu Muhammad Sports Stadium. But yesterday in the morning during pre-match, the referees and the match commissioner, as well as officials of the two clubs, made a tour of the facility, and it was so sad. It was so sad.
Just to be clear, you are saying that this woman, since the order for her arrest, doesn't come to work, and yet she's issuing instructions from the comfort of her home.
Exactly, and that is why we keep on asking. So what was the announcement at the Public Accounts Committee for? Was it to officially, arrest her, or what? Or is it that we need an order from another department for her arrest to be, sanctioned? And these are the questions. But
That's Say Mubarak speaking to me from Tamale. So, Madam Salamatu Al-Hassan continues to remain our post. It's absolutely unbelievable what's happening there. But let's move on to President Akufo-Addo. This morning, he will commission the Boteman Sports Complex 25 days to the start of the African Games here in Accra. The facility constructed at a cost of $145 million, will host 10 of the 29 sporting disciplines of the Games and includes 2 multi-purpose sports halls, a tennis mini stadium, an aquatic center, and a 6-lane athletic track. Dan Kweku Yeboah is chairman of the Communications Subcommittee of the local organizing committee.
On the 30th of August 2021, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, cut the sword for the construction of the Boteman Sports Complex. Today, that promise has been fulfilled. 10 a.m. this morning, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana will commission the Boteman Sports Complex in readiness for the 13th African Games. Ghana becomes the second West African country to host the Games after Nigeria did it in 1973 and 2003. The completion of the Boteman Sports Complex is expected to correct the deficiency in sports infrastructure in the country, as well as enhance the development of the other sporting disciplines.
That's Dan Kweku Yeboah. He is chairman of the Communications Subcommittee of the LOC for the African Games. Speaking of infrastructure, President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kroku, he says the construction of a 40-bed accommodation facility will begin soon at the Ghana Man Soccer Center of Excellence. It's part of the Qatar World Cup Legacy Project, which will also include a gymnasium, swimming pool, and a medical center. $2.5 million has been given the GFA for this purpose.
We also have the clearance to invest in the 40-bed accommodation in Pram Pram. Construction will start soon. It will also include a modern-day gymnasium, a swimming pool, and a medical center to service our footballers and our athletes who use our Pram Pram Technical Center. Indeed, the entire land space will be fenced very, very soon. Work is going to start very, very soon, and I mean this year.
All right, that's Keto Kroku, he's GFA president. Let's talk about the Black Stars. We're still reeling after the exit of the team in the group stages of the AFCON. George Watson was assistant coach to Chris Hughton. He's been sacked alongside his boss since then. He says failing to progress from the first round of the AFCON was hard to take.
Well, yeah, it was difficult to deal with the fact that you didn't progress to the next stage, but it's football. All you can do as a coaching staff is accept the responsibility of it, evaluate what went well and what didn't go so well, and yourself and your players and the FA can then use that to help ourselves to make sure that next time when we do get another opportunity, we learn from it.
That's George Boateng. You were speaking to Sky Sports there. Remember, the GFA has set up a 5-member committee to search for a new Black Stars coach. This is their final week to complete work and name Chris Hughton's replacement. Elsewhere, the Ivorians, they are celebrating. Yesterday, they thronged the streets of Abidjan, clad in a sea of orange, to celebrate their 3rd AFCON title. MS Faye took over the job after they sacked their leading manager, of course, even before the completion of the group stages. Star midfielder Seko Fofana, he was one of the key members of this Ivorian team that led them to victory. He's been shedding light on the team's remarkable turnaround.
Sometimes God makes some situation to show you need to change something, to work very hard, and we do this. We come back more strong with some spirit, because every game we start, we are losing 1-0, or we lose some player, but we trust every time because we have also the support of people, and today we are very happy because we show we are the best team. Every game was not easy, and we are very happy about the success.
That's Seko Fofana. Yesterday, there was Premier League action where Chelsea came from behind to beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Conor Gallagher scored twice, and Enzo Fernandez got the other goal for Chelsea. It's been a remarkable turnaround for Mauricio Pochettino's men. Elsewhere in Spain, Baba Idris's Almeria, they set a record for the longest winless start to a La Liga season with a 0-0 draw against Athletic Bilbao. The draw means Almeria remain bottom of the table with 7 points after 24 games and are 13 points from safety. They've not won a match in that particular run. Later tonight, the UEFA Champions League is back, and defending champions Man City will play away to Copenhagen in the first leg of the round of 16 today at 8 p.m. We have live commentary. here on 99.7 Joy FM as well as Hits 103.9. The Citizens will face Copenhagen's side, who have not played for 2 months because of their winter break there. Record winners Real Madrid, they will play away to RB Leipzig in the other game to be played today. That's all the sports this morning on the Joy Sports Center. My name is Fento, Tahiru Fento. Mama V, are you playing music? Yes.
It's an instrumental. I'm sacking you. Your time is up. So, thanks for the Sports Center.
You're just not happy we won.
I'm happy for
Today, though, we get to see everything around the Boteman Sports Complex. The president is commissioning it at 10 a.m. this morning. He spent a lot of dollars in it.
Our own money as
Our
a
own money,
government of Ghana funded?
Of course, yes. A lot of that funding came from the Afri-Exim Bank loan.
Okay. So who's going to be responsible for the maintenance? For
Good question, because that cannot be handed over to NSA, can it?
Oh,
because
my God.
their track record is not good. What I know is going to happen is that they are going to turn the facility into a university for sports development. They will then be responsible for managing the facility. The problem or the key issue here is how soon will that university be established? And until the university comes into being, who will take temporary charge of the facility? That's essential.
In the meantime, we're fasting and praying. Thanks, Fenchio. There's plenty of sports on myjoyonline.com. Social media messages here on the Super Morning Show. Proudly brought to you by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa. Also, Provident Insurance. And you know, with Provident, man, you're covered.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Hello? Fair driver, are you sending the sales?
Boss, Medicana Kopim.
Hey, what the car to me so?
Boss, you no renew the insurance.
Tell it, I didn't have time. I had to go to the farm.
You can insure on the farm.
And I had to go to the market too.
You could have insured in the market.
I had to cook supper for my wife. Abba.
Boss, you could have insured in the market.
But how?
By texting Obaya on 0242 426 396 to help insure with Provident Insurance on WhatsApp from anywhere.
Annie,
babia. With Obaya, now you can insure your car anywhere, anytime. On WhatsApp, text Obaya on 0242 426 396 today. With Provident,
man, you are covered.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
In about 30 seconds, we'll bring you the Business Minutes, which is always brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you. And of course, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts. The Joy Business Minute on at 8 a.m. every weekday right here on the Super Morning Show. 055-111-1997. That's our WhatsApp number. Get in touch with us here on the Super Morning Show, or just post on X with the hashtag JoySMS. It's 8 o'clock, and here's the Business Minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts. The persistent demand pressures for the dollar would continue to weigh negatively on the city's performance this week. This follows a marginal depreciation of the local currency last week, taking its year-to-date loss to about 3%. The World Bank is currently awaiting Parliament's approval to facilitate the transfer of $300 million in budgetary support for Ghana. This is what Joy Business has picked up from persons working on the facility. From the 1st of May, companies that fail to file their annual returns will have to pay a penalty of 1,000 cedis. This was disclosed by the Registry of Companies, Shimaima Aware. And elsewhere, in the UK, takeaway delivery drivers are planning to strike on Valentine's Day to demand better pay and improved working conditions. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Super Morning Show. It's the most action-packed breakfast breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
It's a minutes after 8 on the Super Morning Show right here on 99.7 Joy FM. Thanks to Consolidated Bank Ghana and Anointed Electricals for bringing us the business minutes. And I've got good news from CBG, Consolidated Bank Ghana. Now, trade financing comes with its own complexities. Sure, you know that. But at CBG, we believe that doing business should always be hassle-free. Are you an importer or an exporter looking to improve your global trade experience? Well, then look no further. With CBG's trade finance solutions, your trade financing problems will be an issue of the past. So take advantage of our trade finance solutions today to foster long-term partnerships, also reduce the risk of doing business, and expand your international trade transactions. Visit any of our 114 branches nationwide to discuss your import finance, also pre-shipment, import duty finance, and shipping guarantee financing needs. How about that? For further inquiries, contact CBG using this number 0302 216,000. 0302 216,000. Send an email to talk to us at cbg.com.gh or visit any of CBG's social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you. Now, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into sales of ultra-silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA. They also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. If you have a generator that is not working, has been sitting around for a while, you want to get Anointed to check that generator out and fix it. They also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds of various generators, and they do generator rentals. They have branches nationwide. You can locate their latest branches in Amrahia, Frims Oil on the main Adenta Dodowa Road, also in East Legon, Lagos Avenue Road, opposite Tomrick Hotel, and in Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead. They're also in Kaswa, off the Wager Kaswa Road, near Simaf Cement Depot. And Odoko, that's where they have their big head office at number 77 Anointed House of the Odoko Malam Road, Accra. You know where to find Anointed Electricals because really they're everywhere. But you can also call their hotline on 0243 480 334. That's 0243 480 334. That's Anointed, the generator experts. On our big stories on the Super Morning Show, we're assessing the tax policies of the NPP flag bearer, the Vice President of Ghana.
For spare parts importers, duties will be at a flat rate per container, 20 foot or 40 foot, and that is what we are going to do. In terms of prudently managing our expenditure, to reduce the budget deficit and interest rates, my government will enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Council. We have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
So what do you think about these new tax policies? Good, possible, or impossible? All right, so let's hear from you. 055-111-1997. That's our WhatsApp number. Also post on X Joy997 with the hashtag JoySMS. You can also post on Facebook as well, but let's hear from you. Social media messages brought to us by EcoBank. A better way, a better African. Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you're covered. So every day we face different emergency. What's your emergency today? I hope it won't be a medical emergency or a police emergency or fire emergency, but I've got a solution. If it is money emergency, I have a fine solution, and it's pretty simple. It is in a number, *770#. *770#. If you find yourself in any financial difficulty at all, wherever, just pick up your phone. Even if you do not have data, just dial *770#. It's the EcoBank money emergency number, and *770# gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payment, airtime, and data purchases. There's so much more you can do with *770#. Just try it. And confidently, when you find yourself in a financial emergency, just don't panic. Dial *770# and EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank. And you can now get your vehicle insured anywhere, anytime with Provident Insurance's Obaya on WhatsApp. She works round the clock, so you don't have to worry about closing times. Bebia, Obaya will respond on WhatsApp. So buy, renew, and file claims for your vehicle, Bebia. All you have to do is chat Obaya on 0242 426 396. That's 0242 426 396. And Obaya will be there. Obaya will help you. 0242 426 396. It's quick, convenient, reliable, saves you time, so you can do more in your day. Just chat Obaya. Chat Obaya right now. And get your vehicle insured now on Provident Insurance. So text it Obaya, Bebia. On the farm, on the road, not when you're driving though. With Provident, man, you're covered. I kind of like Obaya. And the fact that you can reach Obaya on 0242 426 396. That's 0242 426 396 at your convenience. And our tax conversation is brought to us by Vodafone. Further together, also latest film, your partner for life. They bring us big stories here on the Super Morning Show. Now, looking for the best value data and voice offers? Look no further, as Vodafone has unbeatable deals made just for you. To enjoy these amazing Vodafone offers, just dial *530#, *530#, and get onto any of the Vodafone Made For Me bundles for as little as one Ghana cedi per. Vodafone Made For Me has got just what you need. This offer is specially made for you. Simply dial *530# or visit my Vodafone app to subscribe. Vodafone, feather together. Now, dreaming of the perfect sofa to upgrade this Valentine? Your dream sofa is now a reality at Latest Film. Introducing our sensational V Sofa range, where comfort meets style at prices that will make your heart skip a beat. Hop onto or into any Latest Film showroom nationwide to dive into a world of colors and choices. From the sleek L-shaped V sofa at just 3,100 Ghana cedis to the complete V sofa set for an unbeatable price of 6,500 Ghana cedis. We've got the opportunity to elevate your space with Latest Foam, your forever partner in comfort and luxury. So hurry, your perfect sofa awaits. Latest Foam is your partner for life. And this one says, congratulations to my grandson, Mr. Timothy Goba. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Goba of the Daily Graphic. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. It's 11 minutes after 8. This is the Super Morning Show. Good morning also to you, Mr. Harold Richardson. We're assessing Dr. Bawumia's tax policies that he announced recently as he addressed the nation. Listen to this.
For spare parts importers, duties will be at a flat rate per container, 20 foot or 40 foot, and that is what we are going to do. In terms of prudently managing our expenditure to reduce the budget deficit and interest rates, my government will enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Council. We have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
Well, today we'll take you through Dr. Bawumia's tax reforms. We're asking the question, is it possible or impossible? Is it good? Let's hear from you, 055-111-1997. That's our WhatsApp number. Kindly get in touch. You can also post on X with the hashtag JoySMS. That's Joy997 on X and Facebook. And please add the hashtag JoySMS. This is the Super Morning Show.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
Honey, I know you're a bit hard up now, so I've decided to sell the gold necklace you bought for me, so at least we can pay our rent.
Wow, that's so nice of you. But you see, there's just one problem though. The necklace, is actually not real gold.
So it's not real gold, it's real what?
It looks like gold, but it's actually fake.
So all this while I've been walking around thinking there's real gold on my neck, not knowing it's galamsey chain.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry for yourself. No wonder you're broke. You continue being broke, sir.
Don't wait till a rainy day to realize you've been played. Times are hard. Invest right. Invest with iVest, the smart fixed-term investment account from Isway that gives you real value. iVest, real returns for real people. Call Isway now on 0302-208-222 or text iVest to 4993 to get started. Isway, your trusted financial solutions partner. Isway is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation.
Hey, Cashman.
Yeah.
Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is portable. So I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2,500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every 40 generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
How?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after sales service.
Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
Have you chopped breakfast?
No, some people may not find love tomorrow. Some people will be heartbroken today. Some may have had their heartbreak yesterday because of strategic decisions not to celebrate Valentine. Come back together on the 15th. But if I were a lady, I always wouldn't look out for those boys. If you do that, don't come back again. What kind of life is that?
Oh, it was a technical hitch. Once it's fixed,
technical
broadcasting continues after that.
No. Look. If you can afford, show love this Valentine.
And you know, be you say.
Caveat is if you can afford.
Show your love.
Everything boils down to
I thought you said it's not even necessary.
Oh no, what I will do is not what you should do.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. You want to do it. Hey. You know, over the weekend, people saw me and were talking about goat, and I said, the fact that why you're talking about goats, and I was in my car laughing, and I said, you should take the female one. That's always better. Anyway, let's talk about tax.
Indeed, and the Vice President has signaled quite strongly in his recent address that he has several reforms that he wants to introduce in our tax space. I want us to listen to what he said, and then we can do some analysis of the specific provisions in there. How feasible are they? How do they sit alongside our, short to medium term plans in the area of revenue collection? And how will they affect this IMF program we're in? And how will it affect the economy, if indeed the Vice President is able to carry out this vision that he has in the taxation space? Let's first hear everything he said about it.
Ghana has a major challenge in the area of domestic revenue mobilization. Tax to GDP ratio is about 14%, compared to 27% for South Africa and 34% for the advanced OECD countries. Most adults in Ghana are outside the tax net, and compliance is very low. At the beginning of 2017, only 4% of the population of Ghana had tax identification numbers. To increase the number of people with tax identification numbers, I propose that we designate the Ghana card as the tax identification number. In doing this, we have increased the percentage of adults with tax identification numbers from 4% to 85%. It is now incumbent on the GRA to use this database in tax collection to broaden the tax net. We must also protect local industry from smuggled imports that evade import duties. Ladies and gentlemen, special economic zones will be created. These are the free zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns, such as Aflao, Paga, Elubo, Sankase, and Tatale, to enhance economic activity, increase exports, and reduce smuggling and create jobs. Tema Port will be fully automated and benchmarked to be as efficient as some of the best ports in the world, like Hong Kong, Singapore, and Dubai. Also, there will be a new policy of aligning import duties and charges at the Tema Port to the import duties and charges at the Lomé port in Togo, Togo Lomé is our main competitor. This will reduce smuggling and tax avoidance. Also, for spare parts importers, duties will be at a flat rate per container, 20 foot or 40 foot, and that is what we are going to do. I want to talk about our tax system. To increase government tax revenue, we have to reform and refocus the Ghana Revenue Authority towards broadening the tax base. Unfortunately, the pressure that is placed on GRA staff to collect revenues makes them focus on existing taxpayers. Sometimes They even have to go and sit in people's shops to monitor sales, a process known as invigilation. In fact, many businesses feel harassed by this process and the constant audits of their operations. So this has to stop. We must strike the right balance between collecting revenue and allowing businesses to thrive. Our job is to protect the productive forces. The World Bank has estimated that revenues amounting to 13% of GDP, that is $24 billion in 2023, are not collected because people are outside the tax net. In terms of prudently managing our expenditure, to reduce the budget deficit and interest rates, my government will enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Council enshrined in the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018, Act 982. The Fiscal Responsibility Act will also be amended to add a fiscal rule that requires that budgeted expenditure in any year does not exceed 105% of the previous year's tax revenue. This will prevent the experience of budgetary expenditures based on optimistic revenue forecasts, which many a time do not materialize. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, any audits by GRA will also be done electronically and facelessly. Furthermore, no entity will be audited more than once in 5 years unless anomalies are detected which the individual or company does not correct after being given the opportunity to do so. We will amend the law such that if there is a dispute about tax assessment, a binding arbitration will take place through a body constituted by institutions such as the Ghana Arbitration Center, Institute of Taxation, AGI, Institute of Chartered Accountants, Private Enterprise Foundation, Ghana Employers Association, and so on, to resolve any appeal in a maximum of 3 months. This will not affect companies, however, who by their agreements have such arbitrations taking place in international jurisdictions. The ECD will quicken the pace of Ghana's move towards a cashless or near cashless society. Ladies and gentlemen, to move towards a cashless economy, however, we have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
Morning Show. Yeah, so those are the highlights, if you will, of the Vice President's vision for tax in Ghana. We want to have a frank conversation about how realistic this vision is, what impact it would have on our economy if he were to practicalize these proposals, and whether indeed there is the ability to do so in an IMF program. Godfred Bokpin is a professor of finance and an economist, at the University of Ghana. He joins us via phone. Also on the phone is Gilbert Irenchi Ado. He's a senior manager of business tax at Deloitte, Ghana. Good morning to you both. Thank you for your time with us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
And good morning, Kojo, and good morning to your listeners.
Indeed. It's a great pleasure to have you both. There's a lot to talk about. I want to get started. Prof. Bokpin, generally, the idea that the Vice President is proposing is to broaden the tax net. He says that now that digitalization has made strides, it is now possible for more people to pay tax. But in his case, more people to pay fewer taxes. How will that affect revenue? And is it a practical idea?
I think overall is consistent with sound tax policy. Also, from a more theoretical perspective, we have been talking about this many times.
And I associate with the position that the vice president or the flag bearer of the party had adduced. There's one thing talking about it this way, and then there's another level implementing it efficiently. So let's talk about the conceptualization. We had maintained that e-levy is inappropriate. And I'm happy the vice president made a bold statement that this has to be abolished. It is my considered view that any government from 2025 should not think twice about abolishing the e-levy. And that would not be adversarial to our tax objectives under the IMF-supported program. My understanding is that if the IMF itself had its own way, they would have asked government to abolish the e-levy. Probably, the government would have told the IMF that they should be given a little bit more time to see how the tax handle will perform before probably it is reviewed or abolished. So certainly, we need to oil the digital economy and promote cashless economy. That is the way to go. Because the understanding, both from theoretical perspective and practice, is that the digital economy is expected to grow faster than the traditional economy. Once that is the direction, you don't impose a tax handle as an inhibiting force and rather punish people to use the channel that is most efficient. You don't do that. It's a very backward way of implementing a tax policy. So that I think, and I believe that any of the candidates vying for a vote in 2024 should certainly do that. The other bit also is about the use of the Ghana card. You will see that a lot of progress has been made, as the vice president acknowledged. But, Jansen, we have not been able to leverage on that huge jump in terms of the number of Ghanaians who have Ghana card, in roping them into the tax bracket up to date. So there's a huge gap, and that raises questions as to whether we'll be able to scale up tax revenue merely on the basis that every Ghanaian has a Ghana card. There is a lot of work that has to be done. And I certainly agree. If you look at the tax-paying population, even if you estimate that from the labor force, you are looking at something in excess of 13 million. Less than 5 million people pay direct income taxes. The emphasis here is on direct income tax, what we call payee. But the burden of the tax that Ghanaians are complaining is not so much from the direct tax handles. It's more from the consumption-based taxes, indirect taxes. So when it comes to indirect taxes, almost a lot of Ghanaians are paying. VAT and all of that, a lot of Ghanaians are paying. It's the direct income tax. Then when it comes to the direct income tax, you will see that the more formalized the sector or the economy is, the more you are able to collect direct income tax. So, for instance, if you look at the subsectors of our economy, the mining sector, mining and quarrying, is more or less the highest tax-paying subsector because of how formalized it is. But then when it comes to the illegal mining aspect of that value chain, we are not making any progress. A huge loss to the state. But then again, when it comes to the financial and insurance subsector, because of how formalized it is, even though in terms of job creation potential is limited, its tax contribution to our overall tax revenue is very high. Now, but because of the huge informal sector of our economy, when it comes to construction, other subsectors that are a bit more labor intensive, because of the informality, we are not getting as much as we should. So overall, it points out to a good direction. But the issue is the average Ghanaian politician is very humble, and we are efficient when we are in opposition. You can see that same posture from the vice president's presentation. He's speaking from an opposition. That's Ghana's basic problem.
Well,
so
he's in
you can
government.
associate many of these things with some of his presentations when he was in opposition.
Well, he's in government
Clearly.
now, so can it not be argued that he actually knows what it would take to do these things and whether or not they can be done, since he's currently part of the government?
Yes, it has taken them too long to actually put to practice many of these things he told us in February 2024. In as much as I acknowledge that he is not the driver and he is the mate, you can see clearly from the presentation that the mate was eager to take credit collectively where there is success and to dissociate himself where there is weakness or failure. I think that overall, the NPP government represented our hope for economic transformation from 2016. And I think a certain level of admission and humility and apology to Ghanaians will help the NPP and will help all of us. The reason I'm saying so is that, Kojo, the level of resources, tax revenue that the NPP government had the privilege of presiding over from 2017 to 2024, no government has had that. No government has had that. In oil, both in volume and price, tax revenue, come on. Okay, so if you look at the amount of resources and the level of borrowing that this government has done, no other government has done that. And if you look at the future, it's going to be difficult for any government to have that kind of privilege and resources and the support from the citizens that this government had since 2017. So overall, I get a certain sense also, and it's not peculiar to only the vice president. If you look at the discussion from all the candidates that are putting themselves forward for our vote, from the NDC, MPP, there's one butterfly, and then all the others, there's a certain sense that they appreciate that the Ghanaians are growing or are becoming more dissatisfied with our democracy and our governance, especially from expenditure management. I'm excited. The president spoke about the fact that the number of his ministers, deputies, and all of that will not be more than 50. I would even prefer that it's not more than 40. You also get a certain sense from the NDC that they are also thinking about cutting down on the size of government. And all of them, their benchmark is the current size of this government. That is the benchmark. Again, if you see from all of them, and for me that is what gives me hope that it is possible to save our democracy from itself and make democracy work for the ordinary Ghanaian. That is the direction that we should be looking at it, or I'm looking at it from. So I think in terms of taxation, this government has abused the concept of taxation. Unfortunately, we never had opportunity of listening to the vice president when all these tax policies from COVID were being implemented and thrown at us until February 2024. So I of course, I also respect him for taking that bold decision, okay, to prefer a different direction from what probably he has been part of.
Right.
That is good news.
Okay.
From expenditure side, okay.
If you don't mind, we'll come to the expenditure side, but I want to bring in Mr. Yunchia Ado, and let's look at the effect of this on businesses. Okay, there's a tax amnesty being proposed. So for a certain period of time, those who have not been regularizing themselves in terms of tax will be given a chance to start afresh. There's going to be flat taxes all around for individuals, SMEs. They're going to simplify the corporate tax system. Again, when you go to the ports, we're going to be pegged to Lome. Never will our duties exceed those of Lome. Spare parts are going to be imported at a flat rate per container, depending on the size of the container. Let's talk about how some of these policies would affect businesses, the private sector in Ghana.
Okay, so thank you very much, Kojo. I think that Prof has touched on some critical issues, which I'll also leverage on to also share our perspective. I think that when it comes to broadening the tax net, this in terms of direct taxes, I think that when the Income Tax Act was passed, when you look at the second schedule, there was that policy narrative of a modified taxation system. If you look at the second schedule, and that re-echoed some of the principles that are being espoused by the Vice President. The question for us as tax experts is, how has this been implemented? Because when you look at that particular principle, it seeks to address the simplification of the direct tax system for some categories of taxpayers.
Yeah.
And it would have also roped in or helped to manage the taxation of the informal sector. Of course, one challenge we've always had, and as Prof alluded to, is to come out with policies. But then the question is, some of these policies, what analysis have we done to assess how much revenue has come in? What cost benefit analysis have we done? Of course, most of this information may be there, but it's not within the public domain. So if you seek to, grant tax amnesty, I think somewhere last year, government gave this tax amnesty, and I think that the Revenue Authority had a substantial amount of revenue from that. But on the hindsight, the waivers that we give in terms of the interest and the penalties are cost to government. So you need to do the debit and the credit. In as much as you have raised insufficient revenue, have you just opposed it with the cost? And what is the cost? It is the penalties and the interest that we've waived off. And some of them were very material. So in as much as it will be good for tax compliance, it will be good for expanding the scope. Theoretically, because practically there is still that gap that has not been worked on.
There are several individuals and businesses who escape the tax net, if you will. They find whatever opportunity not to pay tax. Will the Vice President's proposals actually deal with that? This idea of an amnesty, this idea of using digitalization to identify every taxable citizen, every commercial citizen, every business individual, and so forth. Will these things actually solve the problem of people, businesses especially, avoiding paying the proper taxes?
Great. So, for instance, if we look at the digitization drive, that to a large extent will help us reasonably manage, not to entirely extinguish the problem. It will help us manage. Our problem as a country is what I call the incubation period. Having the time when we bring on board the policies to do proper data analysis and proper tracking up until we hit a point where we know that, okay, we have gotten this number of people into the bracket. Before the implementation of this policy, maybe we had only 10%. So when you are to do that, you don't focus on immediately bringing in tax revenue. But the problem is you also need a revenue to do government business. So that is the disconnect. But if we were able to focus on other areas of revenue mobilization, other than overly focusing on tax, we could have some time to then do that work, make sure that through the digitization process, a lot of people have come into the tax net. There is proper synchronization of systems. You will have different regulatory bodies managing Ghana card. This is managing this. Proper synchronization. The systems are talking to each other. Once you're able to do that, then we'll be able to possibly extinguish that problem, because there are systems in place to get you into the net. Immediately you hit a certain threshold. You don't need to be perceived. But we need to focus on other areas of revenue mobilization. Let me give you this example. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I once heard on radio on BBC that, okay, fine, they don't intend to increase taxes, but they need to raise revenue to address or do government business. So what have they decided to do? To increase visa fees. Of course, every ordinary Ghanaian may want to go to the United Kingdom, and I use my word advisedly, may. But the quantum of people that want to go there globally is more. So they focus on other areas of raising revenue. And we can also do that. What are the other areas of raising revenue? The municipal assemblies, some of the things they do, how are we monitoring that? What are the systems in place? So the digitization will then look at all those areas comprehensively. And we need to have time for that. I have always said that when you go to some of the municipal assemblies, they have halls that they rent out. That is not their core business. People come to rent those places for weddings and other social events. That is not their core business. And that activity requires that they charge VAT. Because there are no proper systems, the money does not even go into the coffers of government. People will go and hire heavy duty equipment to go and grade their lands and all those things. Those are all revenue sources. So if we could then expand the digitization drive to those areas and have proper controls in place, you realize that reasonably we could then meet each other halfway. There could be some substantial revenue from those non-tax handles rather than focusing on businesses. So that is the position on the digitization drive. For the exemption, of course, it's going to be good because they've done that exercise before. Possibly there are reports to do the cost-benefit analysis. From where the vice president sits, he may have seen the report and would, based on that, think that reintroducing that would enhance voluntary compliance. That could be good, but that should not be the only mechanism, because as I said, we need to look at the cost. And what is the cost? Is the interest and the penalty that we are waiving off, which is also revenue. So if, let's say, you rake in 100 billion in terms of revenue, and you are writing off, let's say, 70 billion, in the end, what have you achieved?
Yeah.
So those cost-benefit analysis is very critical for some of these policies to yield a required return. Is very important, and that could also give business that respite, because there is data to support whatever you are doing.
I want to say a big, well, actually stay with us because we're not done. We're talking to Professor Godfred Bokpin and Mr. Gilbert Irenchi Ado. Professor Bokpin, of course, Professor of Finance and Economist at University of Ghana, Legon, and Mr. Irenchi Ado, Senior Manager of Business Tax at Deloitte, Ghana. We're learning so much as we assess the Vice President's tax policies as communicated in his address last week. Now, when we come back, we've talked about the theory. Both of our guests consider the theory to be sound. But now we're going to talk about the practical aspect of it. How far does this stray from our own medium-term revenue plans? But more importantly, will our IMF program actually permit such a diversion from our revenue-heavy recovery program? When we come back, we dig into those. Stay with us.
I'm afraid. Yeah. Media sambisanda mo. Eti emrati no. Mumu hoi pane tumi fi na mo bodom pe mo mana yakono.
Eye kwabna.
No mumu honsu ne tumi just mali me ma yeni nyina de.
Eye kojo.
Enu kro. Kobre tumi wi na bodom pe mo sense o yusu president eba. Ayede yan ban ne do braye. Ko si echi na mo ho ban na sem mana ho de ne. Sa ani na kojo nsu yusu president chako. Na no ne de e ma o se wo ye krejen fita. Na watimi asiri my mother feel you. Hey, Kojo, sir. Yeah. Pepsodent Heba and a Pepsodent Charcoal. I've had you're gonna natural.
FDIJ Jadian Katuyatu.
Cloudy today, brighter tomorrow. Activa Insurance.
You've worked hard to have that property, the house, the car. Insure it. Your business assets are valuable. You must insure them now with Activa Insurance.
For all your business and personal insurance needs, insure with Activa International Insurance. Sign up by dialing *713*313# or download the Activa Insurance app on Google Play and Apple Store. Activa International Insurance. Our clients, our passion.
This Valentine's Day, take the love road as the king of hearts, Kwabna and the queen of love and soul, Becca, rock it live in a never-before stage experience collabo. It's the Vitamilk Love Night. The most romantic night of the year is here and you must be there. Get a ticket now at a cool 300 Ghana cedis single or 500 Ghana cedis double at kbkblive.com or dial *714*700#. Need an exclusive experience? Call 0243-528-412 or 0247-297-409 for table reservations for VIP or for VVIP. It's Kwabna and Becca live at the Vitamilk Love Night with superstar appearances by your favorite acts. Supported by Joy FM, produced by Image Bureau, and proudly brought to you by Vitamilk.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
It's the season of love. This Valentine, Roverman Productions in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM presents an unkillable white classic, Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands.
It is not every time I snuggle up to you that I want to have sex. Sometimes I just want you to hold me. But as for you, anytime my body touches yours, pew!
Gobi, let's go to church. Gobi, let's go to the market.
It is not me. It is my Kojo Benson. He understands nothing apart from action.
Shows on the 14th of February at the National Theatre. Time, 5 p.m. first show, 8 p.m. second show. Buy your tickets via short code *365*535#. Rate 300 CDs for couples and 200 CDs for singles. Sponsor Ebony Condoms and proudly supported by La Palm Beach Hotel. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet. On Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet. On Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back. It's 9 minutes past 9. We're talking to Professor Bokpin and Mr. Irinchi Ado. They are helping us navigate the very intricate policies of the Vice President on taxation and figuring out how practical they are. We're getting into that in just a moment. How will the IMF program, be impacted by this? Will it even be practical to make such major adjustments to how we collect revenue under an IMF program? How does it depart from the midterm goals that we've set for ourselves in terms of revenue collection? We're getting into all of that. But first, love is in the air, and Prudential Bank has got something special for you this February. Get ready to card the love. Imagine winning an unforgettable weekend stay for two at a luxurious hotel or an exceptional dining experience at a plush restaurant. Prudential Bank has partnered with the African Regent Hotel, Accra City Hotel, Velandro Residence and Potbelly Shack to give you a truly magical experience. Here's how you can be part of this Prudential Bank love-filled extravaganza. Simply make a minimum of 5 online or in-store transactions using any Prudential Bank debit or prepaid card, and you're on your way to creating unforgettable memories with your special someone. Don't miss out on this opportunity to card the love this month with Prudential Bank. Swipe, tap, love and win. Prudential Bank, truly dependable.
So, are you in love with your lover? Well, if you can hear my voice and he's sitting next to you, maybe time to ask, baby, are you in love with me? And get ready to ignite the flames of passion as we present a heart-throbbing experience like never before. As the King of Hearts, Kwabena live on stage with the Queen of Love and Soul, Becca, at the Vitamilk Love Night, Valentine's Day, February 14 at the Grand Arena at 7 p.m. Yes, the most romantic night of the year is finally here. Take the Love Road now and get a ticket for only 300 Ghana Cedis single or 500 Ghana Cedis double at kbkbmusic.com or dial *714*700#. Yearning for an exclusive VIP experience? Call 0243 528 412 or 0247-297-409 for table reservations now. It's Kwabena and Becca live on stage at the Vitamilk Love Night alongside superstar appearances by your favorite artists. It's supported by Joy FM, produced by Ghana's Best in the Business, Image Bureau, and brought to you with love by Vitamilk.
Now, Champion Carbolic Soap, popularly known as Guardian Soap, is now 4 Ghana cedis for a full bar. Unilever, Ghana's champion carbolic soap, is and has always been your skin's guardian against germs that cause most skin diseases. No need to wait. Grab your champion carbolic soap now at only 4 Ghana cedis. It's widely available at all major retail shops and local convenience stores near you. Champion carbolic, guardian dadanwa.
And the Ghana Revenue Authority wishes to remind all withholding tax agents, including VAT withholding agents appointed by the Commissioner General, that withholding taxes must be paid to the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority by the 15th of every month, and withholding taxes for January 2024 will therefore be due by Thursday, the 15th of February 2024. Withholding taxes including withholding on VAT deducted from suppliers operating the VAT standard rate, employment payment for the supply or use of goods, payment for the supply of any works, payment for the supply of service, and all other withheld taxes for January 2024 are due by Thursday, 15th February 2024. They may also submit hard and soft copies of schedules indicating gross amount, the tax deducted, names of taxpayers, and TIN or Ghana card PIN from the taxes from whom the taxes were withheld. Taxpayers are to note that in line with the GRA's cashless policy, both check and cash payments should be made at any of the 23 designated banks, the Ghana.gov platform, or via the USSD code *222#. We also encourage taxpayers to file their returns online via taxpayersportal.com. Please note that failure to pay tax by due date attracts an interest of 125% of the statutory rate compounded monthly on the outstanding tax. Please note that a third-party checks require 2 days to clear. The GRA can be reached by email on info@gra.gov.gh, by WhatsApp on 0552 990000 or 0206 31 664, or call toll free 0800 900 110.
Now, at ABSA, they believe that you and your car deserve to be rewarded. So get more for your protection with a motor insurance policy from ABSA, underwritten by Hollard Insurance. Now, their comprehensive third-party or third-party fire and theft motor insurance policies not only ensure that your vehicle stays protected, but you also get rewarded with fuel vouchers between now and the 31st of March 2024. Now, that's not all. You also enjoy free roadside assistance. You have the option of a car hire, post-vehicle repair, inspection, and more when you sign up for their comprehensive cover. The qualifying minimum premium to be rewarded is 482 Ghana cedis. Discover how to get things done at absa.com.gh or the nearest ABSA branch. Terms and conditions apply.
So, Riverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM, presents a Valentine's Day special showing of Ebo White's amazing classic, Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands. So on the 40th wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Afriye, their 3 adult children return home with various forms of palaver as the children struggle to come to terms with their marital problems against their parents' successful and long-lasting marriage. Certain concerns are raised. Will the anniversary come off as planned, or will it go up in flames as the married children go at their spouses with bitterness and anger? Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands is a story on marriage and relationship told in a hilarious and unforgettable manner. Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands shows on Valentine's Day, 14th of February, that's tomorrow, at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the National Theatre. Rate is 200 Ghana cedis for single tickets and 300 cedis for couples. Buy tickets only via short code *365 *535# on all networks. Join the fun in an amazing Valentine's Night event at the National Theatre. Buy your tickets now. Sponsors Ebony Condoms, supported by La Palm Beach Hotel. Roverman Productions, be the difference.
Okay, then let's get back to our conversation. Professor Bokbin and Mr. Irinchi Ado, Mr. Gilbert Irinchi Ado, are our guests. And before the break, I think both guests confirmed or agreed that in theory, the direction that the Vice President seeks to take with taxation is sound. But now we have to assess the practicality of it. And Prof. Bokbin, I'd like to start with you. We're in an IMF program. This program is heavily predicated on revenue collection. The Vice President wants to make radical changes to revenue collection, including abolishing several taxes. How will this affect our agreement with the Bretton Woods institution? And will we still be able to meet the targets that we've set for ourselves to get out of this program?
Yes, it is possible. Typically, the IMF will not impose a tax handle on a nation or decide that remove this one or maybe introduce this one. They can advise. But what they are interested in is the broader framework of your fiscal goal, proxied by your fiscal balance or your primary balance. So once they set the target, it is then up to the country to decide the specific strategies or tax handles that they want to deploy to achieve that. So there is room to accommodate some of these proposals. And it's the same way that any of the serious political parties, as they craft their manifestos, their promises, they will have to look at it within that framework. So it is possible. So for instance, if you are supposed to increase your tax to GDP ratio or your revenue broadly to GDP to, let's say, about 18%, and you decide that I'm going to abolish e-levy because this is how much e-levy is bringing. But once I abolish this, I create a gap or a deficit. But this is how I will close the deficit. I'm going to immediately improve through administrative reforms and greater compliance and increase the efficiency level of VAT from, let's say, 44%, let's say about 60% within this year. And you demonstrate how you are going to do it. You arrive at the same goal. And Yankson, this can be done. I'll just give you two examples. And I think Mr. Yirenchi Buafo mentioned that I agree with him totally. If you pick just VAT, it's a good tax handle. The inefficiency in our VAT system is more than 54%. That is VAT alone. So what that means is that if you look at the VAT potential, the revenue the VAT is supposed to bring in, we are operating sub-optimally. To close that, Yankson, you don't even increase the VAT rate. It's more of compliance and administrative reforms to make sure that the VAT as a tax handle works the way it's supposed to. How do you do that? And I'm sure the Vice President will have to tell us how they will navigate their way through the political economy, the politically connected transactions along the ports, which also manifest in exemptions. Okay, huge exemptions which affect the ability of Ghana Revenue Authority to realize the tax potential from some of these tax handles.
Now, Prof. Bokpin,
you know how much we are losing through exemptions?
Tell us.
Okay, we are losing hugely. In fact, we are losing more than 3% of our GDP to exemptions alone.
Okay.
And I've said this time and again, 2019, you go and check the State of the Nation address that our president gave. Our president was very clear that the biggest threat to Ghana's tax revenue is exemptions. Is exemptions.
Now,
and that if we don't do anything about it, in the next 10 years or so, more than half of Ghana's revenue will be lost to exemptions.
You've asked a question. You've asked a question about the Vice President telling us how we deal with this. So if you look at his vision statement, he's talked about a flat rate income tax, for instance. And you've talked about how much is lost by way of, VAT that is not collected. We also know that about 81%, there's a gap of 81% in income tax that is not collected. So just about 19% will pay income tax, particularly of companies. Now he's talked about having a flat rate, and this he believes is the way to go in ensuring compliance. Do you agree that having a flat rate as a percentage of income is the way to go?
Look, the reason is not because the existing tax is so complex and difficult to comprehend. I'm not too sure that is where the problem is coming from. Yes, there's conventional wisdom in simplifying it, flat VAT rate and the rest of them. But I think the issues are much more broader than that. We can give the Vice President the benefit of the doubt. Probably the details will come out on how all of these things will be operationalized. But I think it looks too simplistic to assume that by introducing the flat VAT rate or rate is what will solve the problem. I don't think that's too simplistic, and I think that's where the surprise will come from. Okay. I think that I will lean towards what Mr. Gilbert talked about, that there has to be a detailed cost-benefit analysis. And many of these proposals have to be informed by some detailed analysis, diagnostic tests, fiscal capacity analysis, some stochastic frontier analysis that determines across all the tax handles the efficient way of deploying them. I think that will work. This looks a bit more simplistic for now. That is what I would say. Of course, we can give him the benefit of the doubt. But look at corporate income tax. The inefficiency there is more than 80%.
Exactly. I mean, 81%. And that's what I was making reference to. But let me bring Gilbert in at this point. Gilbert, so if you look at the Vice President's vision, he's talked about abolishing betting tax and all. If you look at our medium-term revenue plan strategy, we actually indicate that earnings from these, betting, electronic games and all of that, should be taxed. Now, what do you make of the Vice President's vision, comparing it to our medium-term revenue strategy? Hello, Gilbert. Gilbert, do we still have Gilbert Irenchi Ado on the line? Okay, I think we don't have Gilbert Irenchi Ado. So I'd ask you that question, Professor Bokwing, because now we're looking at our medium-term revenue strategy, and some of the promises of the Vice President is at variance with, the medium-term revenue strategy. What do you make of that?
Oh, that can be amended. It's a strategy. It can be revised. It can be evaluated. 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, any of the political parties should be bold enough to look at the most efficient way of raising tax revenue without compromising the competitiveness of our private sector and impairing the balance sheet of households. Yeah, so that can. I think it comes down to looking at it broadly, right, and not asking like a tickling policy to respond to public sentiment and the rest of them because of the situation. Of course, you should just understand that this is clearly a situation or an issue created by the government that the same government seeks to respond to come to or to continue in power. Okay, so we have to look at it broadly, and it has to be backed by proper analysis. I mean, it's an industry that is booming. We have to look at it broadly within the concept of the same digitalization, e-commerce, digital trade, and the rest of them. And then, Justin, let me say this. One issue somebody could pick from all our digitization agenda and Ghana card is we are looking at it more from taxation perspective of raising more revenue. I think that digitization brings in much more than just raising more revenue, and the Ghana card has more benefit than just raking in more revenue. So I think we should look at it from a business perspective, and we should look at it as an integral part of our overall economic strategy, which can bring in tax revenue and help make expenditure efficient and help reduce costs and make life user-friendly for every Ghanaian and businesses. I think that way it will help all of us. What you see from the Vice President and pronouncement from other candidates is the fact that there is room for improvement.
Let me bring in Gilbert Yurinchi Ado again. Gilbert, thank you for joining us once again.
Great.
And I'm asking you the question about the flat income tax rate. First of all, what's your take on it? And what do you also make of the decision, for instance, to abolish certain tax policies which are part of our medium-term revenue strategy? For instance, betting, tax on betting.
Okay, so hello, I hope I can be heard.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. So when it comes to, trying to reduce the tax rate or having a simplified system of filing income tax return, I have indicated that this is not new in law. The medium-term strategy sought to re-emphasize something that is already captured in the second schedule of our Income Tax Act at 896. And the subject matter there is modified taxation, where we have the principles of modified taxation as well as the presumptive taxation. The over-anchoring objective of these two provisions is to address what has already been espoused. So it's not new in law. The question is, how has it been operationalized? So I don't think that it's something that is necessarily new. I have my tax act in front of me, and what I've captured in there is, will modified taxation be the key to expanding the tax bracket? When is it going to be implemented? So I think that we have to go back to the drawing board and look at the reasons for or the challenges that is being encountered in terms of its implementation. When we're able to do this and create a system where it is easy for people to understand the tax handles and be able to file, it will then increase the level of compliance within the economy, which is very important. The expansion or bringing in the informal sector, and most of the times our engagement with them, is the ability to understand the mechanism for filing. So if we are able to make it a bit basic and put other systems in place reasonably, and I always say reasonably, having in mind the nature of our economy, the kind of businesses we have, and sometimes the penchant for not even wanting to pay taxes, even for those who are in the formal sector. So it's very important. This is not new, in my opinion.
And talking about... Yes, but Gilbert, talking about a flat rate, for instance.
Yes.
The question arises, what happens to the principle of ability to pay, equity in taxation?
Good. I think that the flat rate makes equity in taxation well entrenched. Unfortunately, maybe you may not have seen the session I'm making reference, because it also makes reference to some revenue thresholds that will serve as a cardinal point to determine the rate that will be applicable in terms of the taxes that you will pay. Now, before you get to that point, you should have done your analysis well. So I do not see a challenge with the flat rate. If we have done proper work, there is data, and I have not researched to confirm that, so let me presume there is data. What we make out of the data is the data and the science backing the flat rate, and that's what Prof alluded to, that we have the theory and the practical. On paper, theoretically, it's good. But practically, what have we done to ensure that it will yield the required benefit. So, Winston, the issue of flat rate is not a problem. It's the data and the science backing that decision that will require some interrogation for us to assess the practicality of the measure that is being proposed by the Vice President.
Yes, but Gilbert, so I mean, the Vice President talks about assessing businesses. He realizes that there are a lot more SMEs, over 90% SMEs, so you will have a flat rate income tax. But some of these SMEs, if we were to do an assessment of them, would realize that their incomes would differ. And so having a flat rate, and you've talked about the practicality, practically having one rate, how feasible is it? And doesn't it defeat the progressive nature of taxation itself?
So Winston, if you look at my submission, I did indicate that before you even talk about flat rate, you need to then bring on board the threshold on which the flat rate would be proposed. If you look at the presumptive taxation principle, there's a threshold that defines the tax that has to be paid. So you don't just omnibussly say, okay, there's a flat rate, and that's why I agree with you. Everybody is going to pay tax at the flat rate. You need to look at the stream of activities of the various kind of businesses within the Ghanaian economy. What are the volume of activities? What are the costs? Because for direct taxes, the tax will be triggered from the net position. When I say the net position, of course, we are going to look at the person's revenue vis-a-vis the person's cost, holding all things constant on the presumption that costs are legitimate expenses. It could lead to you paying lower taxes or higher taxes, but that is premised on the net position when it comes to direct tax. So before we even think of flat rates, what is the data and science backing it? And that will then cure the doubt that may linger on your mind as well as other listeners. If we have the science and the data, we talk for the manufacturing sector, these are the categorization, these are the figures. When we do this flat rate, this is what will happen. When you go to the extractive industry, for assumption purposes, what is the data and science there? If you go to the service industry, what is the data and science there? Once we have that compact report, if you want to say flat rate, it will be applauded. Of course, once there is data which makes sense, then we know that we cannot derive the right revenue by looking at this polity. So my position is that what is the data and science backing the flat rate? And that's why I said it is one thing making that proposition theoretically, but per the practice, what does it seek to communicate?
That's a profound question on which we can wrap our conversation. I want to say a big thank you to both of our guests. Gilbert Irinchi Ado is the last person you heard speaking. He's a senior manager of business tax at Deloitte, Ghana. Before him, you heard from Professor Godfred Bokbin. He's a professor of finance and an economist at the University of Ghana. I thank you both for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you. Have a blessed
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, bless you both. More on the show after these.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM. In your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, now listen, keep your text messages coming through. We'll read a bunch of them as soon as we can. Text messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by GCB Bank PLC, GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality.
So, Kojo, you've indicated how you want to enjoy Valentine's.
If I can, it would be nice.
Oh, if you can, then I would show you where you can go. This Valentine, come experience love in the valley at Safari Valley Eco Resort, located at Edukrom. A relaxing environment with beautiful sights and wildlife on display, and nature's wildlife on display. Now, your 5,400 Love and the Valley package beckons from the 6th to the 29th of February for one night featuring 2 maximum guests. So breakfast, lunch, dinner are served as a 3 to 5 course meal from a curated menu of the day. Valentine's room decoration with a fruit platter and a bottle of wine on arrival. 24 hours shared butler service, safari wildlife tour, animal feeding, trip to the waterfall, and canoe ride on the canal. This package is valid from the 6th to the 29th of February. Call or WhatsApp 059-6914-394. Terms and conditions apply. I think I love this.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are doing it everywhere because you can get closer to nature this Valentine and celebrate your love at Aqua Safari Resort. So, whichever direction you travel from Accra, there is a beautiful package waiting for you for Valentine. It could be you and your loved one seated with candles lit, champagne and an ice bucket, and waiters at your beck and call with a thrilling view of nature as a backdrop. Your possibilities of experiences are endless at the Aqua Safari Resort. Now, they've got packages including dinner for 2 on the island, fresh coconut and juices upon arrival, musical performance by Ura Sax and Calvin the violinist, dinner on the island with sparkling wine, red velvet room set up for the night. That sounds so nice. Breakfast the next morning. Now, this package is valid from the 14th until the 17th of February. Aqua Safari Resort is also giving you an amazing 15% off all room bookings from the 12th until the 18th of February. For bookings and inquiries, call 0540-110-193, or you can try 0540-110-195. Terms and conditions apply.
So Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment and furniture at affordable prices, has introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. This means you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of their branches. It is hassle-free. They will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. They offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions have applied. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
All right then. So we've got more to come.
But lots of messages, Kojo. Lots and lots and lots of your messages. So this one says, political leaders and parties know the right direction and decisions to take, but they will not do it. That's at Carl Gatto. At 50_Perswa says, how do you abolish taxes when you're on IMF's life support? And Professor Bokwin was explaining that. So while it is true that you're on an IMF program, you just have to indicate how you intend to raise revenue. Okay, and the vice president has talked about how non-collection of tax, for instance, amounts to some $24 billion. Now, just think about that for a minute. $24 billion. Not cedis,
Dollars.
And I'll help you understand, because when it comes to VAT, for instance, we're told that the inefficiency gap alone is about 61%. So we don't collect about 61% of that. When it comes to income tax, we don't collect some 81% of it. So this is where some of us argue and say, so why do we need to be having these many indirect taxes? Of course, VAT is even part of it. But I mean, the point is that, as much as, a lot of people are not paying. So as a first step, hear people make the case of, let's go for a flat rate. Everybody gets to pay the same thing, and that's the end of it. Then, we'll come back and do assessments here and there. But we'll talk about that shortly. At Kan Aguje Seto says, wait, why not just implement his solution while he's in office now, or tell his boss too? Are Ghanaians people thinking, look, one thing is for sure, NDC and PP only come to power for their supporters, period. At Papa and Sasa is when the tax is no longer needed. After it has served its purpose, it is so possible and necessary to be taken away. If that's the motive behind it, we should support him take it off. And at Kelvin Yadam says, a great initiative which will go a long way to reform the revenue sector. At SK Kutu says, great idea has proposed new tax regime as that paradigm shift we've been waiting for years. We've done it one way for far too long. This man must be the only choice for all Ghanaians in the December 2024 polls.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Can I say a very quick good morning to my Fanti friend Sylvia Aquahagen of Republic Bank, who's listening intently. All right, we've got more after these.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus? Upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T's and C's apply.
This Valentine's Day, take the love road as the king of hearts, Kwabna, and the queen of love and soul, Becca. Rock it live in a never-before stage experience collabo. It's the Vitamilk Love Night. The most romantic night of the year is here, and you must be there. Get a ticket now at a cool 300 Ghana Cedis single or 500 Ghana Cedis double at kbkblive.com or dial *714*700#. Need an exclusive experience? Call 0243-528-412 or 0247-297-409 for table reservations for VIP or for VVIP. It's Kwabna and Becca live at the Vitamilk Love Night with superstar appearances by your favorite acts. Supported by Joy FM, produced by Image Bureau, and proudly brought to you by Vitamilk.
I'm looking forward to that. But if you want to join on the 14th with your partner, please reserve a seat by sending your names to 055 1111997 and the hashtag Valentine on Joy. With the hashtag Valentine on Joy, we'll get back to you with a registration code. If you also wish to do something special for your partner that night, please let us know and we will make it happen for you. Motorola Ghana will be giving out some sleek phones and souvenirs, while Achedie has some beautiful love hampers to give away. The proposal on Joy FM is brought to you by Motorola Ghana and supported by Labadi Beach Hotel, Proposal GH, and Achedie Fie. The proposal on Joy. Love is indeed beautiful.
Don't forget, as part of your options to wow your loved one on Valentine's Day, do not leave out a day's trip to Safari Valley Eco Park, okay? Where you can go and enjoy amazing animals like zebra, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara. I mean, enjoy looking at them, not eating them, among others, okay?
How can you go and try eating them?
Exactly, you can't. So from a starting price of 250 Ghana cedis and free for children up to 6 years, you can go and enjoy this harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife. They are only an hour from Accra, okay? Open from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. each day. So visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. You want to know more? Go to safarivalleyresort.com. Check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 059 691 4394.
Now, Mr. Kwabena Bracken, who's CEO of Peniel Global Limited, you're by this announcement invited to meet with the debt recovery team of the Multimedia Group along with your lawyer, Mr. Emmanuel Owusu Boateng Esquire, at our office at number 1 Farah Avenue, Adabraka, by 12 noon today, Tuesday, the 13th of February, 2024.
Wow, Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Yes, but Kojo, you know, today is World Radio Day.
It is. And you know what? I've noticed that our dear friends from Provident Insurance did not forget us.
Exactly.
On World Radio Day. They've sent through a wonderful cake. We've got to say a big, big thank you to all of the wonderful people at Provident Insurance. It's so nice of you to think of us on World Radio Day. We thank you very, very much for that lovely cake.
Yes, I've seen it. It's a nice one. So we're grateful to all of you, our friends from Provident Insurance. Thank you very, very much for remembering us on World Radio Day. But of course, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We have a unique conversation coming up.
Yeah. And we are thinking of doing something special for all of you listeners who are in love, okay? Something very special that you might want to do for your partner. We'll see if we can do it for you. All right. Yes, it's all in the spirit of the proposal, but we're not going to be proposing for you, no. But we might do something nice for you.
I don't know. Maybe somebody may just find love on a day. You don't know.
Who knows?
And I got a smile from some person.
Yes. Mamiesi, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? You're waiting on me.
Mamiesi, come and speak into the microphone. We want to hear you. Come and speak into the microphone.
Roger Youngson promised to take me out, so I'm waiting.
He did?
You did?
I did.
In the newsroom. Why are you denying now?
There are some things.
To put me into?
There are some things you cannot answer. It's okay. Don't answer this one. Mr. Aye. Anyway,
raise expectation here.
But I'm told that there's also chocolate. Our friends from Provident Insurance added some chocolate.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yes, we appreciate them very, very much. Yes. Thank you. Happy Radio Day. Happy World Radio Day to them.
All right, we'll leave you in the hands of DJ Wobeti.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for listening. We're back tomorrow on Valentine's Day with more on the Super Morning Show. Stay on Joy till then. My name is Kojo Yankson.